Yo guys, we are back. It's been a while. But Magnus is back on the table. And Hicko is here with his sub. Thank you very much, dude. That is 10 months. Nearly a year anniversary, you absolute boss. Thank you so much. I see Nick McDade got his sub in that 7 months for him as well. Absolute superstars, both of you. Thank you. So we are back. We had great fun at The Rock. At the No Retreat 9. Main unit getting his sub on. And a hype train fresh out of the station as well. I see Too Many Sprues getting his sub in as well. My God, this is crazy. Thank you to everyone for those subs. Choo choo indeed, Mr. Brook. Let's say hello to the chat. We've got Dan Brook, Crooked Grin, Datsun Des with the host, Too Many Sprues, Hicko, Ventress, Commissar Bob. Who else we got? Mr. Nick McDade, Main Unit, Bobby McFly. This is Kets TV. All the cool people are here. Hobo J, how you doing, brother? Let's get some exclamation point Hobo in the chat. And let's start this correctly this time as well. We're going to kick off the first of 4 giveaways this evening. The first of 4. Bam. First one is open. This is for the hobby voucher. Exclamation point Sept20. Exclamation point how for how to join. Very straightforward. You guys will get it. So, let's clear off some of this. As you can see, we have Magnus the Shred, or Magnus the Blue. We've got Magnus's Barnet. That was the last thing we painted on stream. The flowing auburn ginger locks of Magnus. Magnus's face. The Blade of Change. Looking mighty fine. I got so many great comments about this on Instagram. Super happy. Dan Brook getting his sub. Oh wait, that's Main Unit giving that sub. Danny, let me give you your meeps. Here you go, dude. You're going to need to spend those this evening. She sorted. So, Magnus's wings are, as you can see, fucking gigantic. Fucking gigantic. He's going to be great fun to paint. We're going for a sort of mother of pearl look to these. It's going to be doing some white as a main color with some shades of purple, magenta, potentially vivid green. Jury's out on that one. I missed one. Sitting here somewhere. The Johnsonator! Lee, my man, how are you doing, dude? 14 months now, man. 14 months. Get some turquoise on the go as well. So we're going to have a riot of colour in these wings. I'm going to take all of that over some Celestra Grey from good old G-Dubs. Get some white down. Bit of a gloss varnish. And then we can start getting some of that nice fine detail shade in there with some washes. This is Kets TV converting from a Prime Gaming sub to a Tier 1 sub. Absolute superstar. AJC72, how you doing, brother? Snake Plissken! How you doing, champ? Good to see you again. Rival Sarah is here as well. So, the commands you guys are going to need. Exclamation point how, exclamation point Sept 20, and then X, where X is the number of tickets. Super simple. We have got one sort of giveaway and then 4 actual giveaways tonight. So the one sort of giveaway is, as usual, at 11:25 to the second. Whoever is the stream boss, currently Thickos, gets 10,000 meeps to go into their little meeps account, their little meeps savings. They can then use that to buy some raffle tickets to win the next giveaway, which is a £50 hobby voucher to a stockist of your choice. It could be Rival Crafts, it could be Element Games, it could be Death Ray Designs, it could be anybody you want. Buy those tickets with your meeps, get set. That's the first 2 giveaways, the sort of giveaway and the first giveaway. Then we've got the usual giveaway to do, which is of course for a miniature painted by me in a colour scheme of your choice. Dan, no problem, brother. Up on deck today, we've got Sergeant Joven. This is a pretty fucking cool mini, I'm not gonna lie. If he doesn't get taken, I might keep him. We've got the Gloomspike gets Loon Boss, because look at how awesome this little dude is. So much character on that guy. I love these little fucking mushrooms. This little squid mushroom, he's epic. The rest are good, but this one is the king. Now, if you decide, actually Jay, I don't collect Space Marines, and I've got no interest in Sigma, you can gamble your winnings away on the contents of the mystery box. In here is a mini. Could be anything. It's something that has spent time on the shelves of shame. Could be anything up there. We've got some Space Marine limited edition characters. We've got some Warcry minis, we've got some Shadespire stuff, some Sigmar stuff, some other 40k stuff. I mean, I know for a fact a Helverin fits inside this box. So, you know, it could go big. Equally, it could just be some scenery from out of that box up there. It could be a scenic base. It could be, I don't know, what else is up there that's not so good? Attack Priest Engine's here. George! How you doing? Either way, it's a mini. But it's a gamble. You might get something cool. You might get something not. I mean, there have been some cool things that G-Dubs have released recently that might be in that box. Who knows? Comradeson, how you doing? And then, one last thing. We have 2 more giveaways, sponsored by my boy, Justin, the Armed Painter, who's an absolute boss. He has given me 2 £25 vouchers to spend on Death Ray Design stuff in their web store. Now, he gave me a large voucher to use on stuff to buy for the stream, so that we could also stream it. So coming up shortly, probably within the next month or so, we're going to paint an entire table's worth of terrain over a weekend, all to match up with this Necron army. So these Crons, the Terminator Crons, the Kyberdyne Dynasty is going to have its home planet. We've got scenery from the Alliance Armory, sat in the cupboard here, waiting to be assembled. We'll have scenery from Death Ray Designs, and you guys could too. So we have 4 giveaways this evening. Especially put it how, especially put Sept 20, a space, and a number of tickets you would like to buy. Toonie Sprues, that is gutting, mate. That is gutting. Janelle Sen, how you doing? I do live. I fell asleep at my desk on Tuesday night. And then, this is how fucking tired I was on Tuesday, right? Not only did I fall asleep on Tuesday night at my desk, like a complete hobo, I also, when I woke up, thought, oh god, you know what? I should go to bed. I've got work tomorrow. I need to be sure that I can, like, fully function. So I went to bed, got up the following day, went to work, did work things. Gets worse. Did work things. And then at about 3:30, when boss was like, hey, it's the last day of the month, you'll make sure your timesheets are in. I went into our workforce management system. Jaga! Doing great, dude. How are you? And then I realised that I booked yesterday off as annual leave because I thought I'd have to get back and then immediately start working. Fuck that noise. Winner. So I worked on my holiday day. Lasai. Is what it is. So yeah, that's how tired we were. It was a sad state of affairs. Very sad state of affairs. Rocky! What up, brother? Got Magnus's base come through the post. It's just over there. I haven't opened it yet. You know, look at that tomorrow. So what we're doing to begin with is taking some Celestra Grey. I like this colour. It's a good coverage grey. Tizd! How you doing? I'm going to take this, I'm going to spray it over all of the wings. Now there's a couple of details here that once we finish painting the Mini will not be that mother of pearl. So we've got these little designs on the feathers. Going to pick those out probably in red. Right? Oh, holy shit. Rocky is going mad again. It's giveaway day. We've got to get these meeps out. So, rival Sarah, getting her sub on. Sarah, you need to be here for the giveaway and spend these meeps. So, rival Sarah, Leonidas of Sparta 69. Let's get some love for Rocky in the stream, please. Here's, of course, the absolute boss. Alex Serta, 40k. Okay, there's some meeps for you. Then we've got Viking XDK. Is Viking here yet? Viking, dude, you need to spend these meeps. Big time. Like, seriously. Mr. Chillmore! Here's some meeps for you. And then Keldon Raven gets his sub in as well. Absolute superstar. Biffuz gets his sub. Next up is X James. I like that you're on exactly 1,000 meeps when we went to check yours there. That was good. Last Verse Games. Rocky, you madman. You absolute madman. Campaconda and Awakened Bacon. I love that name. Campaconda, here's yours. And then Awakened Bacon. What an awesome, awesome name. There we go. Did we miss anyone? Nope. Chase is looking dope. It is looking absolutely dope. Just spent 30 meeps on tickets. Excellent. Well done. Keep spending to absolutely bone dry on those. In it to win it. Fuck yeah. Why do I feel like Rocky touched me? He touches us all. In our hearts. Right. Let's get going. So, Celestra Grey. Good base coat for these. and we can start talking about No Retreat and why everyone should try and go. So for those of you that are completely unaware of No Retreat, it is a currently annual tournament. It used to be biannual, so there was 2 a year, held in Gibraltar by a organization which everyone should know, but I appreciate there will be some that don't. SN Battle Reports. So SN Battle Reports started out life as a website that would produce written battle reports in the very old school White Dwarf style. So back when we were issue like 130 or so. Guess you could say you're winging it tonight. Very good, very good. Maladeus, hey, no worries, dude. I just want to know 2 guys on basic class for the Necrons, with nice miles red dirt, because it's a base of me. Awesome, mate. Awesome. Yeah, please definitely get some picks in. We'll go through and always give the feedback on that. If people can't stick around, get your minis in the whip now. You know, watch the VOD. Come on YouTube. See what we think. Basie! How you doing, brother? So yeah, the SN crew used to do old school style White Dwarf written battle reports with insight into what the players were thinking, doing, etc. Really, really good stuff. They since have branched out into video battle reports, and they're actually really good. Like, one thing you cannot fault them for, they have absolutely some of the best looking armies and terrain that you'll find in a battle report on YouTube. Hands down, possibly even the best. Now, when you go to one of their events, such as their grand tournaments, or if you're lucky enough to qualify for their retreat, you get to play on all that stuff. And whilst it's not functionally amazing for 40k, and we'll turn a little bit of info on that in a bit, it is fucking stunning. Absolutely stunning. So that's a bit about SN. No Retreat is a tournament that is very, very difficult to attend. Normally, if you want to go to a tournament, you buy a ticket, you book a hotel or whatever, and you turn up and you play some games. That's it, right? No Retreat isn't like that. No Retreat was a tournament, an event that was created to try and be different from other tournaments. It was to try and move away from the ultra competitiveness that Steve and Nick, that's S and N in SM Battle Reports, Steve Pardo and Nick, I can't remember his surname. I want to say Rodriguez, but I know it isn't. But they wanted to move away from that, and so they wanted to get people in that were more involved in the hobby than just the tabletop gaming side of it. They wanted people that were hobbyists, they wanted people that were decent folk, that had beautifully painted armies, and so it's a real honor to be accepted to attend their event, because what you have to do is basically fill out a CV. Like, here's why I'm in the hobby, here's why you should take me into the event, you know, all these things, and it's tough to get in. It is Rodriguez. Fuck. I thought it was, and I kept thinking, no, that's Shaggy. We got there eventually. So it's tough to get in because there's a lot of people that want to go to No Retreat. I have wanted to go since I first heard about it on Tabletop Tactics. Lawrence Baker has won No Retreat, I believe, 4 times now. And it's definitely one of his favourite tournaments to go to. And having been now, I can totally understand why. It is an amazing, amazing experience. So you have to take photos of your army, send those off. You have to fill out this CV, like I mentioned, why you should be accepted in a retreat, why you're not like a horrible cheating scumbag and all these other bits and pieces. And so it is tough. How did I get in then? Des, suck it. Just suck it. Fluffy competitive, probably the hardest of all, because it's about lore, painting, inverting, and also making a decent list. Yeah, it is. So, I managed to get in after 3 years of applications. I nearly went last year as well. However, I had to turn it down, which I was so gutted. So gutted. Last year, I just bought my ticket to the Dutch GT. I just paid for flights, accommodation with Airbnb and the hotel. And about a week after that, Steve messaged me and was like, "Hey man, could you come to the retreat now? Like, we've got a spot for you off the reserve list. Do you want to come?" I was absolutely distraught. It was the saddest thing. It was like kicking a puppy. Ooh, right, great. Let's get some more. So, this year we got in. The little box, this little wooden box with a nice little seal on it, came through the door. That is a signal to let you know you're going to the Rock. Except this time, due to COVID, we weren't going to the Rock. And none of us knew that back in February. This time, we stayed and played on the Sunborn 5-star luxury yacht hotel. Woo! I'll tell you now, this is one of the nicest venues you could play 40k in. By far. It's fucking gorgeous. There are drawbacks to it, which I'll come to. But just off the bat, you've got a nice room to play in. You know, breakfast was included in our hotel price. And the breakfast was stonking as well. Like, you could eat all the breakfast and not need to eat again that day. And whilst it may ordinarily be a buffet lunch, I guess, or sorry, a buffet breakfast, I guess, like, you know, go and pick up stuff from the past due to COVID. Obviously, none of that was happening, and it was all very much a case of we're just going to fresh cook it, bring it out to your table, and away you go. So I was impressed. Excuse me. Breakfast isn't just some cereal and some muffins. Absolutely not. Breakfast, a couple of times, was like eggs hollandaise, so Benedict. Except it wasn't eggs Benedict. It was kind of a mixture between eggs Benedict and eggs Royale. Their English breakfast was enormous. I couldn't eat it all. Their continental breakfast was so big that when me and Nick ordered it, it was literally 4 people's worth of food for 2 of us. So having learnt this by day 3, that none of the breakfasts were small enough for a normal-sized person, shut up all of you. It was like just a case of, can I just get a bacon sandwich? That's it. That's all I want for breakfast. I'll be full off of that. So, can recommend that venue just for a holiday. The Top Dick, as it was a boat, there were many dicks. Top Dick was the best dick because it had their little infinity pool, which was actually pretty banging. Nice little sort of, we'll call it a veranda, I guess, little gazebo style thing going on. There was many drinks because also cocktail happy hour. Mango daiquiris. Holy fuckballs. Barman was like, we can do a daiquiri if you want. I'm like, yeah, sure, man. Like, do you want strawberry or do you want lemon? And I sat there thinking, like, I mean, we could do other daiquiris. Like, how about mango? Mango, ice, rum, more rum, and then even more rum. feels like that Django Unchained bit. You had my attention. You know. Damn, they were good. We got looked after. So, great venue, great event. Aerial Ventry! How's it going, brother? Let's talk about the list I took, why I took it, and then we'll talk about the games that I played and my opponents. How you going, Jib, big lad? Bet you've said 10 times already. No, man, you haven't missed a thing. Honestly. So, the list I took was my standard 2,000 point night list at the moment, which is what I take to any competitive event. And No Retreat is, as we've said, a tournament that is less about being competitive and more about having a beautiful army and the right attitude to the hobby and the tabletop. As a result, one of the things I didn't take with me were things like chess clock, which I really wish I'd used in 3 of my 5 games. We'll come to that and why I think even in a friendly environment, I believe them to be fairly essential for competitive 40k. Controversial opinion, but J and Speedos is not a thing. I have something shorts, actually. Speedos, no. There was an overwhelming amount of Space Marine lists. There was quite a lot of Marine lists, and in the build-up to No Retreat, you will get invited into a WhatsApp group where you can chat to the players that are going. You can get to know everyone a little bit. It's great. It's one of the best parts about it. And I know other tournaments, my own included, also do this little model just so that you can start to get that kind of community-driven aspect to things. It's always nice. And then once you've finished the event, once you've gone through No Retreat, you then get brought into the No Retreat Friends of SN group, which has got pretty much everyone that's ever attended one of their events. So I spent the afternoon chatting to Chef from Tabletop Tactics, where between the two of us, we put to right all of the problems with the chapter-approved secondaries and some of their primaries. So between Chef and I, we fixed it. He just needs to convince Games Workshop that, in his playtest opinion, everything is now fine. That may or may not happen, but yeah. Lurking while at work? No worries, brother. So in here, we've got some of the Deep Violet, some Flow Improver, and some Water to get it super, super thin. I mean, you can see this is still got some potency to it, but a lot of that silver showing through. We are going to keep this as thin as possible. What we're going to do is we're going to come in underneath these feathers. I'm going to dry all this down with a hairdryer first, obviously. Just so we've got a little bit of shadow going into these, and we'll use some purple, some magenta, maybe then go... Actually, we should do magenta this side. So we do purple here, magenta, go into the blue, and then bring up some of the green on the outside edges. And we're going to really try and get a range of colour across these wings. Let's grab that hairdryer. Sort this out. So the list. 3 Night Crusaders. All with the non-line of sight necessary missile pods, which I feel is necessary for any event, but specifically for an event like this where the terrain is going to be massive. There's going to be a lot of it. It's going to be big stuff. You're going to need that extra out of line of sight stuff. That's it. The Iron rocket pod, man. Got to be taken. Got to be taken. Because of points, one of my Crusaders has a melter gun instead of the heavy stubber. Melter gun is 10 points. A heavy stubber is 5. What in the actual fuck? Like that makes no sense, but okay. Oh, Crest! Get some love in the stream for my boy. How you doing, brother? Good to see you dropping by. I then took 3 health runes, 1 unit of 2 and 1 unit of 1, just so it fits completely. Your eyes still hurt. What did you do, dude? I've been completely off Twitch, social media, you name it, for about the last week. 12-hour marathon. 12 hours not a marathon. It's not a marathon. That's like a steady jog. 12 hours of steady jogging. That's what you did, dude. But I get it, man. Like, I wear lenses. That helps a lot. Believe it or not. It stops my eyes from drying out so much. Until you blink and they both sort of crust up. Yeah. And you know you've been going too long. Mate, I'd love LASIK. I really would. Just sort that shit out once and for all. Also, I say once and for all. Like, sort that shit out for about 10 years. And then all we go, right? But hopefully you recover soon, man. So we're just going to spray this on real light, real diffuse. We're working from a distance. We're working with a very small amount of paint and a very, very large amount of air. And we're just going to blend these up. We're going to come in afterwards with white coming down from the direction of the feathers. So a lot of this is just going to exist in the shadows left by our wing feathers. So we can afford to be a little bit heavy-handed with this, but nothing crazy. This is one of the reasons we start with that grey base coat. Okay, so it's very light, very pastel on this for now. Let's amp it up a little bit. Bring that violet right up to the forefront. This is a kind of blackcurrant colour, I guess. You know, if you get like blackcurrant sweets or lolly or something, it's basically the colour that you're looking at right now. Oh shit! Yeah, that would, the astigmatism's almost sitting in the dirt. My old man had that. It's makes everything tougher, but it can be corrected. Yeah. So hopefully you can sort that out. So that was the basic list. Then we move on to things like Warlord traits and relics, and with Imperial Knights, I feel it is mandatory, not optional, mandatory to load up on your big boy Knights. So I make sure that every single one of them has a relic and a Warlord trait. And because of the way I like to play, I take all of the defensive stats. So we go with one Knight who has Iron Bulwark for a 4-up invulnerable save from shooting, and Sanctuary for a 5-up invulnerable save in combat, which you can rotate to a 4-up. 3 times I had to explain that to people and then show them it in the codex. Because everyone was like, no, you can't do that, you can't do that. No, it doesn't work like that. Trust me, brother. Yes, it does. Because you've got a 5-up invulnerable save, and the stratagem just says, improve the invulnerable save of your Knight by 1, the FAQ says, to a maximum of 4+, you can rotate on Sanctuary. Doesn't say in your shooting phase, just says when your Knight is the target of an attack. So that catches a few people off guard. I even explained it to one of them before the game. And another one before he made a decision he was going to make. But, you know, never mind. So we have Sanctuary and Iron Bulwark on 1. For my Warlord, he takes the Armor of Sainted Ion, which is a 2-up armor save, which is super, super clutch. 2-up armor save means that in combat, he still gets a 5-up save against things like Thunder Hammers, Power Fists, and so on, at least until the Assault Doctrine kicks in. It means he's even got a save against things like Librarian Dreadnoughts, and they're super, super annoying, not even slightly OP bullshit halberds. Yeah, none of that. So that, I feel, pretty mandatory. Got to be taken. Right, switch it up. Let's get some magenta. Just put in 3 drops of flow improver, 3 drops of water, 3 drops of ink. Tiz, I'm not sure what edition you're playing, but there's no, like, facings anymore. Connor's Retro Omnibus. How's it going? So, we take the armor sinks down. That 2-up armor save is amazing. Helps you survive small arms fire. Helps you survive that big boy combat punch. And so on and so forth. I also give him a new warlord trait from Engine War. This one is called Cold Eradication. Did anyone get salty? So much salt. We're on a boat surrounded by salt water, and the saltiest place on Earth was still in that hall across the table. There was heaping piles of salt. Fucking Methuselah came in, turned someone into a pillar of salt, and my opponent was occasionally more salty than that dead guy literally made of salt. At the friendly hobby event, I'd like to point out, Kets, more salt. Many more salts. Alright, let's get his magenta on. Pirate Dan! Getting his Twitch Prime sub going on. Thank you very much, G. So, we have Cold Eradication as another warlord trait. What this allows you to do is to roll 2 dice and then pick the highest for your random shot weapons. So for Crusader, for me at least, that's the Thermal Cannon, the Heavy Flamer, and the Ironstorm Missile Pod. So, once you get level assault, it'd be deleted as spam. Maybe. Maybe. Everyone was nice enough to apologise about being salty after I'd put up with 45 minutes of them being salty. I mean, I'm used to it. But, easy guys, you know? We'd all love to win, just because you're not. So, last night, always the Daka night. So we've got one that's pure defense, one that's a mixture, offense and defense. The last one is all about that aggro. He's got to turn it up loud every single time he shoots. And he functions using the Housecraft Warlord trait of reroll 1s to hit, first night, and Endless Fury. The reason I say Endless Fury instead of the somewhat more obvious choice of Headsman's Mark is because Endless Fury is useful in every single game. Headsman's Mark is useful in maybe 30%. So we're always going to get mileage out of Endless Fury. We're not always going to get mileage out of Headsman's Mark. Just dry these down. I'm going to go with a bit more of that magenta as well. You're poor ethereal. Yeah. Fuck that guy. Knights are in a really shit place right now. Really shit. But it's okay. It's okay. Is there a reason there's no base coat on the wings? There is. Celestra Grey over a black undercoat. Don't you worry. Just looks like slightly lighter than grey plastic grey. It's alright. It's okay, man. It's okay. It's difficult to see under the light anyway. So game 1. those of you that were around when we did the talk through some of the No Retreat lists will know that I was playing against somebody who had taken quite a ferocious list to the friendly tournament. It was the previous champion of No Retreat, Chris Tootle. And Chris had taken a Death Guard list. Solid. Solid, I can get behind a Death Guard list. So his Death Guard list was very different to what most people are playing right now, which is here's a shitload of Terminators, here's a shitload of Plague Marines, here's some stuff, and then also some Demon Engine things. He decided, well, if we're just going to go with Demon Engines, why don't we go big with Demon Engines? And this was a list that was pretty brutal. Like really, really brutal. Now I had a plan to defeat this list, which I will go through in a second. I didn't go through it on air just in case. Chris, if you're watching, thank you again for the game. But just in case he was here. But I had a plan to defeat it. It did involve going either first or second as well. Didn't need to go first, but it would have been extremely helpful to go first. But I had a plan. We had a way to get through this absolute shitstorm of a list. So he had 9 Mephitic Blight Haulers. That's the little 3-wheeled tracked dudes. They're unfun. They're significantly unfun. Chicken Fingers, what up, man? Doing well. You? He had 2 PBCs, one of which had accelerated entropy. And he was very surprised when I asked him to mark which one it was. I don't think he understood that if I killed it, then that's the end of the accelerated entropy. Top tip, guys. It only works while they're in 7 of the one with the entropy. If it's dead, they ain't within 7. He had a Demon Prince for the Ironclad Furnace. He had the Smelly Flamer dude. He had the Tallyman, because CC rerolls are pretty legit. They're good. It's good to have. Can't argue about that. Look at that magenta. Fucking beautiful. Bang it. Right, let's flash the airbrush. Quick wash out. To be fair, that was his 4th game with it as well. So, what else did he have? He had Unit Cultists, and that was about it, I think. Pretty sure that was about the size of it. So, the game plan was deploy out of range of the multi-melters on the Rolly Boys, even if they move their full 10. Because, mathematically, I've done the sums on the entire list, mine and his, and I've thrown my water bottle on the floor. It has been lost to the floor now. Okay, we'll find that another time. That's annoying. But, never mind. We shall fall back. Yes, absolutely. No Papas 3 in the unit making BS3. They do. So my plan was to deploy out of multi-melter range. So that when he moved, he had 9 missile launchers to shoot at night. And 4 entropy cannons. And that was it. On average dice, that doesn't even come close to killing a knight that's been rotated on. And if he shoots one, and I rotate it, and he shoots at another one, he's never killing that knight anyway. So, that was the plan to begin with. But also to deploy close enough so that if/when I have my turn first, I can get within range of all of my guns, and potentially in close combat range with one knight. So if I can hide one, great. That's kind of all I want to do. Everyone else stays back. We come piling forward. Obviously, the one that's right at the front, that's the one that's got all of that invulnerable save. That's our super defensive knight. The linebacker. He's in there to ensure that we've got something that is gonna survive the inevitable punch from this Death Guard list, should it come to it. And if I do go second, he shoots at him. At least I save a command point, so I don't have to rotate on it. That was the plan, with a little sneaky bit to go in there for what to do afterwards. Now I got first turn. Now on average dice, and those people that know me in real life will know that I never complain about my dice, because it evens out. Always comes back to an average at some point. But on average dice, a single Helverin can't kill a Roly Boy, but 2 will do it. Also, on average dice, 1 Crusader kills 1 Crawler. Play first. Crawler? No. My Fittic Blight Hauler. Kills a Hauler. So 1 Crusader kills 1, 2 Helverins kill 1. I only want to kill 3. 1 from each unit. Then all these guys are back to hitting on 4s, not hitting on 3s. It makes my knights much more survivable because they can't put out the same amount of firepower, and we'd be feeling pretty safe. I also want to kill that unit of cultists to stop him using Cloud of Flies on it, hiding stuff behind, you know, and getting on those objectives. So if I can kill that straight away first turn, we're feeling a good spot. Got first turn. Jan! How you doing, bro? Let's get some love for my man Jan. How you doing, man? Always good to see you. So when we fired a Helverin into a unit of Roly Boys, and we get a mighty 10 shots, I'm like, yes, this is coming to plan. Because we got first turn. It was good. But we got 8 hits. It's like, yes, it's going down. Wounding on 4s. 1 wound. Alright, that's a bit of bad luck. It's okay. It's no problem. We'll even this out. Next one. 7 hits. No wounds. On 4s, no wounds. It's at 15 dice. You rolled 1 4 up here. Last one. Gets another 7 hits. We rolled 8 shots, I think. 7 hits. This is good. 2 wounds. Both saved. So far out of 3 Helverins, we should have killed 1.5 of these little dudes. Instead, all we've done is do 3 wounds. Alright, this is not working. It's okay, let's keep going, So we fire a Crusader into the same unit. Avenger Gatling Cannon! Go strong on the hits. Need 5s to wound. Got none. The fuck? So it was just... I couldn't wound him. And he couldn't, like, on the few occasions where we got wounds through, he couldn't fail a save or a disgusting resilient. So out of 1 unit of 3, I got 1 down to 1 wound left, and then my last knight wasn't in range. I'm like, alright, it's fine, it's fine. We'll put everything into this middle unit then. Shot into the middle unit, killed 1 in there, like, yes, huzzah, he blew up. Because everything's clustered around, that explosion killed 1 in the other unit, so woo! All we killed in the first turn was that unit of cultists to stop him hopping on that backfield objective and just claiming that for the game. Because this is one of those ones where if you were on it, you scored it forever. And I wanted to make him go backwards with his demon engine. So I wanted to break up the pack a little bit, or slow him down a touch. You know, whatever we can do, any little advantage in him having to make some poor decisions. It's what we're looking for in a game. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. In his turn, he didn't kill a knight, as expected. But he did engage me in combat. And this was something I'd planned for. I wanted him to charge me. I had 3 of those lawnmower dudes. Now the plan was, in my turn 2, I would kill the most protected model in his entire army. That Demon Prince. As soon as that Demon Prince goes down, there's no Arch Contaminator anymore, which is massive. And there's no Iron Clock Furnace anymore, which is equally massive. So he loses his offense and his defensive buff like that. And I was going to kill that in my turn 2. Now this is the most protected mini on the battlefield. He knows he needs this guy to keep his list going. So how the hell was I going to get to this guy? Well, the first thing I needed was to be in combat at the start of my turn. And I had a knight at the start of my turn in combat, ready and waiting to be buffed up to full wounds before killing this Demon Prince. To get to the Demon Prince, I just spent 2 command points on Desperate Breakout. Desperate Breakout reads, you move through enemy units when you fall back. Doesn't say infantry, any of that. Just says you move through enemy units when you fall back. So you fall back from combat, you become a ghost, you move through their stuff to get to that Demon Prince as the closest target, ready to rain fire upon him. It's your Titanic. You can shoot. You can charge. You're gonna kill that motherfucker. And it didn't work. And it wasn't because I rolled a 1. That's the downside. That's the risk to this. If you roll a 1 for any model that has broken out in a desperate fashion, then they die. So it's a big risk with a 500 point Knight Crusader. Very big risk. But equally, if it kills that Demon Prince, that's game. Even if it's not game because my dice desert me, my opponent is almost certainly so out of it mentally, so on tilt, that it's game. Playing without emotion is super hard. Ring Sting! What up, dude? And also, Crash Test UK, thank you for the follow. Now, the reason that didn't work was not because we rolled a 1. Didn't even get a chance to roll it. We had CP, it wasn't that either. It was because this table had 3 kinds of scenery on it. There were 2 ruins, one in each one of each corner that our deployment zones were in. We had Vanguard Strike deployment. There were 2 ruins about this big and, you know, decent tall, obscuring. And there was a statue in the middle. Other than that, it was hills. And they were all about this wide on the base and about that tall. And they were just hills, which meant they weren't obscuring, they weren't line of sight blocking, other than just the physical thing itself. So as a result, the table wasn't great from a competitive standpoint. It looked nice, it was pretty, you know, these are all great things. But from a competitive standpoint, the table was a bit shit. Yeah. I said this to Steve in person at the event. I said to Pardo, look, no offense, mate, but some of these tables aren't great competitively. This has got literally nothing in the way of cover on it. So, you know. Crownblade, what I'm talking about is not going on tilt. So when bad shit happens, you've just got to deal with it. And just like, cool, that's happened. That's to one side now. On we go. Having fun is not what I'm talking about. We should always have fun playing a game. It's mostly why we play it. But you've got to be able to just go, right, ignore that. Move on. That happened. So because of this hill, even if we'd used a strat, we'd have had to go up onto the hill, and a Demon Prince wouldn't have been the closest target to me. And he was well enough protected because he was within 3 inches of things like PBCs and so on to stop me from using him for target practice. So unfortunately, we missed our chance to kill the Demon Prince. The game then went badly because I couldn't kill anything. As a Knights player, when you get kill more once in the game, that's it. That's it. You're done. If you're not killing more every turn, it's because you're dead. So, yeah, that went badly. Ended up, Chris won the game. I think it was something like high 70s to 34. It was a bad game for the Knights, but it is what it is. It's not what I wanted. Obviously, first game, we had a game plan. The dice, which I never whinge about, they do average out. The dice did me absolutely no favors in that game. They were abject failures instead. But it's okay. Frozen! How you doing, big man? Coming in on that raid. Let's get some follows. Let's get some love for Mr. Froz. How you doing, brother? Crown Blade, at a competitive event, you gotta leave that shit on the table. Like, a different one, not the one you're playing on. That's it. Ring Sting getting his 6-month sub with Prime. Absolute superstar. Zenfall wants 7 months. Hey there, he says. Hey there, indeed. Exclamation point how. For those of you who just joined, exclamation point win and mystery as well. We have got 4 prizes to give away tonight. We're giving away a £50 hobby voucher to the retailer of your choice. Mr. Frozin, do you do vouchers? Maybe you could win yourself something from Chris's store. Exclamation point Frozin. We are giving away a mini painted a color scheme of your choice. Tonight's options are the Gloomspike gets Loon Boss because the mushrooms that he stood on, those little toadstools, are the coolest fucking thing in the world. And we love them. Sergeant Joven, the Space Marine Sergeant, stood on the mostly decapitated orc. Frozin getting his sub on, gifted by the amazing Janelle Sen. Absolute OG, she is. Let me give you your meeps, brother. Oh, mate, you need to be spending these. There you go. You need to stick around to the end of the stream, Chris. Get them tickets. Exclamation point how for a guide on how to do so. So yeah, game 1, we lost, and I'm thinking, alright, that's cool. We can relax a little bit, we can't come first. We can have a bit of fun in our games. Now we're playing for second, though. Fish! How you doing, brother? Anyway, Chris, how was your stream, dude? I did get to see on Instagram you'd recently finished somebody's birthday gift. Looks very impressive, mate. Very, very impressive. Moon Tyrannid. They look bright now. Just you wait, man. These are going to be desaturated as fuck in a minute. Taking all of this color away. It's not going to be Magnus the Parrot. So game 2, following day. Had our breakfast. We're feeling like we're going to bring some terror to my opponents now. Too many sprues throwing those subs out. Goliath Games TV getting the first of those subs. Give you your meeps. There you go, man. We've then got Bacho. Oh my god. Bacho Colio streams. That was a hard one. Here's some meeps for you. Dr. Rhino getting a sub as well. Kirthan89. There you go, matey. And finally, Wafflecraft 1066J. Cool name. Very cool name. Also, meeps for you. There you go, guys. Let's get some love in the stream for Too Many Sprues. Very good mod. Very good mod. Tropical Madness would be cool. He needs some umbongo. Because they drink it on the planet of sorcerers, perhaps. Mal2208, thank you for that follow and welcome to the stream. So those of you just joined, exclamation point win, exclamation point mystery. Once you've worked out what is going on tonight, exclamation point how. We were just talking about the giveaway prizes. Tonight you've got a choice of either Sergeant Joven, the Loon Boss from the Gloomspite Gits, the little guy with the mushrooms, who's super cool, or the contents of the mystery box. The box contains a mini of some description. Could be anything from limited edition miniatures, out of production miniatures, cool Warcry toys, loads of funky stuff. Loads of funky stuff. But could also contain maybe just a scenic base. Maybe just a grot. Basic, bog standard grot. Could be anything in there. It's a gamble. That's some cool prizes out there so far, though. Definitely a pina colada out of a coconut. Yep. Or a pineapple. The Art of War is here as well. How are you boys doing? Let's get some love for these absolute beasts coming in hot with this raid. How is your stream, guys? What were you up to? We've got the many coloured wings of Magnus on deck at the moment that we're about to paint white. It's going to be cool. Going to be cool. We're also talking about last weekend's, or the weekend just gone's, I guess, SN Battle Reports No Retreat. Oh yeah, baby. Recently, my man, I only play knights. I love my boys. People that say knights aren't competitive just haven't played me yet. John's doing some Ridge Runners. You're doing your second unit of Inceptors. Ooh, nice, dude. Plasma ones or heavy bolter ones? Also, Ridge Runners. Still cool. They're still cool. So those of you who just come in from the Art of War stream, welcome. Turn the hairdryer off now before I incinerate my leg with it. We're painting some more of Magnus. So far we've done a rather pretty looking magical sword. We've done his hair, we've done his face, working on the wings now. It's giveaway day today though. So exclamation point win, exclamation point mystery, exclamation point how to work out how to enter. We've got 4 giveaways tonight. We've not only got that £50 voucher, a mini painted by me, but then we have 2, count them, 2 Camp Crow TV. Thank you for following. 2 £25 value gift vouchers to Death Ray Designs. So for those of you out in the States, you can get yourself on something with very, very cheap shipping. For those of you over here, the shipping does cost a fair bit. I'm not going to lie. I spent, I think it was $79.18 to ship what I bought over here. But holy shit, is that stuff good. Super good. Super, super good. We're going to be doing an entire weekend of just painting scenery in a couple of weeks or a month or so. Working out the details on that, but stay tuned for that. So what we've done so far is a processed magenta, some deep violet purple, some blue, and some green all the way across these wings. Now I'm going to turn these into a bit of a mother of pearl style thing by coming down from an angle with some white ink. It's going to leave these colors in just the recesses. Then we can gloss varnish this, get some washes in there to help bring back some of the detail this highlight spray will take out. But it's going to help us out tremendously. Airbrush, quick clean in there. Let's carry on talking about no retreat. So game one, instantly we knew we couldn't win the event, but there was a chance, even on a loss. Game two, I get to play somebody I have wanted to play for a very, very long time. A really good friend of mine, a guy called Stuart. Stuart you will know from Instagram and potentially YouTube as well, under the handle Rumpelmaster. Stu has the best looking Necrons in existence. Stu's Necrons are all non-metallic metal. The entire army, NMM. And they're fucking gorgeous. Go check him out on Instagram. If one of the mods can get a link to him, that'd be great. His name is Rumpelmaster. Rumpelemaster. Absolute badass. I met Stu at one of the Hellstorm events a couple of years back. We've had so many chats about painting, just life in general. I love this guy. Absolutely love this guy. Stu also knows that I'm a competitive player and we like to stay competitive. And he did tell me he'd had literally, not figuratively, literally 2 games of 9th edition by this point. And I've been trying to help him out all the way through the event, like in the lead up to it as well, help him through some of the changes and so on, so he knew what he was doing. I said, okay, I'm not going to tell you how to play your army, but I'm also not going to be a dick through this game. Did Mario and Papa? Yep, same list, man. Same list. So, right at the start, he picked some secondaries, and I said, don't take those. Don't take those, mate. That's... Night Mace! How you doing, brother? So, helped you out. We went through his secondaries in a little bit more detail. Made sure he had something that was worth taking that he could score some points for and so on, right? Now, I'm going to keep this at a very oblique angle. We want to leave a lot of this shading in underneath. So, imagine that as our pre-highlight. Sorry, pre-shading. Now, we're coming in with that highlight ready to go up from here. So, like I was saying, helped him out with the secondaries, made sure he was in a position to do well right off the bat, and he wasn't going to put himself into a bad spot just with a little bit of bad decision making. Talked him through things like deploy scramblers, which is an amazing secondary for most armies. Going well, Mace. How are you? So you dig through other games. You know, no. Every now and again, mate, you say something, I'm not sure whether you're joking or not. Anyway. Great game with Stu. Did have first turn. And Stu's army consisted of a couple of Doomsday Arcs, some Annihilation Barges, the Indomitus Overlord. So you can see where we're going now with this, right? So it's taking some of that colour and muting it, but you still see plenty of it on the underside of these wings. We've got a wash to go in over the top of this, and then we can highlight up to white by hand afterwards. What else did he have? He had 5 destroyers because he was worried about ballast, I think. He had Unit of 8 tomb blades. Less worried about blast on those, obviously. What else? Some immortals. Catacomb command barge. A few other bits and pieces. Yeah, but an okay Necron army. Not so much of the new stuff. Just that Indomitus Overlord. Nothing else from the new Necron range, which I'm going to get my pre-order in this weekend for some of those absolutely sick-looking Locust Heavy Destroyers. Liking them a lot. So doing long, gentle passes of this, and if I just knock down the exposure a little bit, and you see we've still retained that colour. Clearly not as vibrant, but that's not the point. If we put this next to the big man, it's very disruptive, right? And it's also going to be nearly impossible to replicate on all of these feathers. If we put this in, by the time we've got these highlights right up to white, it'll be good. Chimo! How you doing, man? Good to see you. So first turn. Doing to set a date to game with Jay. It could happen, man. It could happen. Also, Azrael, I missed your good evening. So, good evening. My first turn. I targeted one of his Doomsday Arcs, knowing that he would use the Atomantic Shielding. So, I fired a thermal cannon at it. Shot everything else into his Tomb Blades. As soon as he popped the Atomantic Shielding on that, I was like, cool, I can kill the other one now, which isn't in dense terrain and doesn't have the -1 to hit. So, managed to get a pretty good first turn. We killed all of the Tomb Blades, which is pretty key, because I wanted to get rid of all of his fast-moving units so that I could ensure that I would be the quickest thing on the table. I'd be able to get to all those objectives, hold and retain those objectives, and stop him from beating me in the primary. There we go, it's looking okay. Let's get this side now. I nearly killed all of his destroyers. Got him down to 1 left. And I did kill his second Annihilation Barge, the one that didn't have the extra shield on. Now, unfortunately, Stu failed his leadership test on that one destroyer and it fucked off. Personally, I'd have used Desperate Breakout Stratagem just to ensure that it wasn't going to. But I think he felt he was safe. It was only a 6. And unfortunately, you can't re-roll leadership tests anymore. Leadership is not one of the things that you can use. So that was rough. That was rough. Stu lost a lot of his ranged punch immediately in that turn. It didn't stop him from doing some decent damage, but ultimately the writing was on the wall straight away. Played it out over 5 turns. Insane bravery. Yeah, man. Once per game, but on something like that, where it's super important, I'd pay those 2 CP every time. Just play it safe, man. Play it safe. So there we go. Here's that mother of pearl style effect that we were looking for. Gonna let that one dry, work on the other one, come in with a hair dry, get these nice and dried off. Then maybe come with a second coat of white over the top. We'll see how we get on. Gonna be hitting them with a gloss varnish afterwards to make sure that when we do put our washes down, we're looking at something that's just going to hit those recesses and not spend too much time on the surface. It's also easy to clear up. Now, I thought about using oils for it, but I think I'm going to stick to regular acrylics. So I ended up playing the game out to something like an 85 to 30-ish game. It was rough for Stu. I got max points in the primary. I think it might have been 80. Could have been 87. The painting points weren't included, by the way. So none of the games were scored out of 100. They were all scored out of 90. So prerequisite for the event was having your army to a very high standard already. Therefore, no need for that. It did cause some confusion. There were some people that were awarding painting scores, which meant that sometimes pairings got readjusted. So maybe I'd have just left them in. Everyone knows it's all painted. You're going to get that 10 points. So, you know, no harm, I guess. Sorry, one sec. There we go, and then white ink. So, decent game against Stu. Glad I got to play him. I'm not sure he's been able to sit down just yet from that. It was a bit rough. But I spent all of the game past my turn 1 talking him through some things to do in his turn to make sure that he wasn't in a position where he was just playing bad because he didn't know any better. So anytime he was going to use a strat, it was like, why don't you do this instead? Some of his movement, Veil of Darkness targets and things. We're just making sure that he had all of the right information. It's helping him out with terrain quite a lot because that was a lot to get your head around. And by the end of the game, he was honestly, I feel, very happy that we got to play because he basically had a bit of a lesson on how to play Ninth. This is not a complete fucker to hold from the angle I want, I promise you. By that, I mean it is totally an absolute pain in the dick. But we've made it so far, I think. So that's game 1 and 2. We're on a loss followed by a win. We're okay. Okay. Just got to get 3 more wins and we could claim second place. Maybe. Maybe. So game 3, King Kappa Killer, how you doing? Yes, Magnus, for some reason, has the Matrix plugs. Game 3, I played against a guy called Max Moscadini. So, Moscadini is a name that we have uttered many times on this stream. However, normally in relation to his brother, Joe. Joe is the guy that paints the beautiful plasma glow on the Repulsor Executioners that we've shown off many times. Novus Sangue over on Instagram. And he was chuffed when I told him at dinner that we bring up his work on stream quite a lot. So make sure you go and give him a follow if you don't already. Guy's an absolute beast when it comes to the hobby side of things. Super talented. But we're playing his brother, Max. Now, I've spoken to Max a little bit in the chat. He seems like a nice enough dude. So I'm looking forward to the game. Max has got Space Wolves. So now shit's going back to getting real again. We've got an army that is currently doing very well competitively. But fortunately, this one isn't full of Wolfen. Wolfen are scary as a Knight player, or in fact as any player, really, let's be honest. But as a Knight player especially, they are scary, because even when you go in and kill them in combat, they're just going to kill you back. And that's tough to deal with. But Max didn't have any Wolfen. Alright. Cool, we can deal with this. Maybe. Maybe. So, Dean Paints, good evening. Are you going very white? Seems like the colours are disappearing. That's entirely the point, my friend. Don't you worry, we have plans for this. The colour is meant to be just in the recesses underneath, and then we're going to come back in after we've done a strong gloss wash on, gloss varnish on top of this, and just hit the recesses with it. So we're desaturating it now after putting on those like really, really strong, vibrant colours, which we're using as a like shade from underneath. I think that's actually a bit of cobweb rather than cat hair. That's super annoying. But but they are still there. As you can see, if we tilt the wing this way, you can see the shadow. All of that is still there. Same with this one. We're looking for a mother of pearl style effect. When you make the wolf and moans they are rubbish, your mate has no fucking idea what he's talking about. That simple. So what did Max have on his list? He had Father Christmas on his sled. He had the big wolf himself. He had a wolf priest with a jump pack and the Canticle of Hate, because it's super, super good. Skeptic, how you doing? Meat wanted to be part of Magnus' wings. She totally does. She's a little prima donna. He had a Leviathan Dreadnought, double storm cannon, and 2 missiles. He had some intercessors. He had a long fang unit of dudes with plasma cannons. They were worrying. Because also in there, I didn't realize you could do this, but this is cool. He had a pack leader wearing Terminator armor with a storm shield. He had some Blade Guard vets. He had what else? What else? An Impulsor with Ragnar. I think that was it. Yeah, reasonably sure that was it. Yeah. All chariot was 6th edition fantasy. Holy shit, dude. Maeve, look, no worries, man. I mean, if you ever want a painting lesson, by the way, it is something that we offer. Private tuition, one-on-one. Doesn't need to be airbrush, but obviously that's quite a popular lesson, is tips and help with airbrushing. So I'm just going to give this a proper flush through, because we're going to put gloss varnish in this in a minute, and I want to make sure there's no ink left in. It's going to taint the colour of that varnish. So we want to hit this from all sides with it, and that will make a big difference. Danny, I'm glad you think so, man. We've got your next lesson on Wednesday evening. I'm looking forward to it. Hope you are too. So, the board is not good for me. In fact, we're looking at the board, and I'm thinking I've got fuck all chance on this. There is nothing but ruins all over the table. It looks like sort of like the outskirts of London, where, you know, there's a lot of like high-rise flats in an area that you wouldn't walk through at night by yourself. It looks a bit like that kind of table, just more dilapidated, more broken down. And obviously, as someone that would prefer some nice walkways, it was a little claustrophobic. Very claustrophobic. Penny Croydon. Basically, yeah. Yeah, the wolves were trying to steal my wallet, in fact. So, you know, there was that. However, there were some good objective placements based on the mission. And because of the deployment zone, my opponent had the same issues that I had when it come to placing large miniatures. So it meant that Father Christmas was basically sat out in the open, right next to a Leviathan. Obviously, he wants to be given that full re-rolls as the chapter master to that. Makes it very tough to deal with. If I have to take the hits from it, it's going to go badly. So we hid our Helvrins reasonably well. We put our Crusaders out as big bully units on the front line. As he inherited Joe's skills. Now, I did ask them, out of the two, who's got the best record against the other. And apparently it's pretty even. They reckon Joe has just synced it. But, yeah, he's decent. However, they do share one common thing, which we'll get to when we talk about Joe's game. Because yes, spoiler alert, I played his brother. First turn, we roll the dice, I win the roll off. I'm happy. I take first turn. Move some Helverins around for some line of sight. Measure up some ranges with Crusaders. Move them all over the board. Ready to get more things dead. We're trying, ideally, to kill Father Christmas this turn. Damage the Leviathan. And if we can, just sneak a few wounds off of the Long Fangs unit. Because those plasma cannons, re-rolling all wounds is just going to suck. One more. There you go. So, that's the game plan. That's what we're going to do. The Helverin moves around the corner. Chack, chack. Aims at Father Christmas. And kills him. Bam. Stone cold dead. What the shit? He got 4 wounds through. So you got to do 12 damage. Each one is 3 wounds. Max rolls 4 1s and 2s. Which means Father Christmas, unfortunately, goes from 100% to 0 instantly. He looked down at the dice and thought, I could re-roll this. Looked back up at the table, saw another Helverin and a Crusader, both just looking at the guy, and just went, there's no point. I just took him off. Right, okay. This is already a better turn than I thought it was going to be. Let's keep this up. Managed to take the Leviathan Dread down to 6 wounds. And then started... Welcome to Dice Games. Exactly, man. And like I said, dice always even out, right? That game 1 where we couldn't get a fucking wound on the Nurgle stuff. Here it evens out. We had a bit of a chat at one point about cover. He had a Long Fang, the pack leader dude, that was just sort of touching cover. And he was just in. So I was sure he was in. Max wasn't. So I said, look, let's just grab Nick and we'll ask one of the judges to be 100% sure. Raging Viking 94, thank you for the follow. So he asked the judge over and just said, look, I'm sure this is in cover. My opponent doesn't think it is. It's his mini. I'm more than happy to give it a benefit of doubt. Also, I'm pretty sure, letter of the rules, this is correct. He's like, yeah, that guy's in cover. Cool. So we're like, yeah, now we both know. Happy days, we can move on. I'm just giving this a once over gloss varnish. Now, you're not going to see much, unfortunately. Even if I turn the exposure right down, all you'd see is a little bit of a glisten at times, but you can see, there you go, this is what the varnish is, shiny. Now, just as Nick turned away, I said, actually, Nick, just one more quick question. Can you just... What if I'm just touching the outside of a building? Like, am I in cover? Are we playing that at this event as cover or in cover or no? What's the deal? So he wandered off and he spoke to a couple of the judges and he came back about 5 minutes later and said, yeah, so that is how it's played. As long as you're sort of touching the outside of it with your base, great. You count as being like in the cover, so within the cover, and away you go. All right, cool, no worries. And that conversation's important. So I have a stonking first turn. We kill a couple of units of intercessors. I've done a little bit of movement, knowing that Max has got some stuff in outflank, the cheapo Space Wolf version of Strategic Reserves. And so I know that I need to be wary of that for my second turn. Isn't that standard for cover? The way I've been playing it in 9th is different to how I played it in 8th. In 8th, there were no real rules for terrain. There was like guidelines for terrain. But in 9th, it's different. They have a lot more rules. And so, the way to think about 9th edition 40k is like this. If I walk up to your house, I stand in front of your front door, I put my hand on your front door, am I in your house? The answer is obviously a no. I'm still on the outside still. And so, it's kind of an event by event thing because GW haven't released a more clarified rule on it. So some events are playing it as you're in, some events are playing it as you're not, and that's why it was important to ask the question. If you're a tournament player and you've been to events that have had it one way, then let us know. If you've been, if it's the first you've heard of it, then again, let us know. I'm doing everything you need to be inside. Yeah. But this is how the guys said they were going to rule it. Alright, cool. And the only reason I asked it was because I was advised that he has like toe in cover and therefore is in cover. Alright, thought I'd ask. So Max has his turn. He does a few moves about. He moves Magnus and gets Magnus out of his repulsor. His impulsor. He's got an impulsor with Magnus and some blade guard, but he just gets Magnus out. He puts Magnus right up against the wall of this building. And literally at that point, that's when Nick came over and said, so yeah, if you're touching the wall, then you're in the terrain, and so on and so on and so on. So I said to Max, look, I know before the game we discussed, same as I normally do with all my opponents, once something's moved, that's it, it's set in stone, there's no takey backsies. But once it's set, that's normally it. However, we've just had a clarification on this rule. Do you want to move him? And he just moved him back a little bit, basically. He moved him back about 3/4 of an inch, so he wasn't touching the wall anymore, so he was definitely the other side of the terrain. I meant Ragnar. Oh, yeah, definitely Ragnar. Sorry. Yeah, I think it's because I was going to say Raggy, and then ended up maybe saying Maggie. But yeah, so he moved Ragnar, and cool, happy days, moved on. Shot up Helver in a little bit with his Leviathan that was feeling a little bit less than optimal at this point in the game. Did a few bits of movement, got some objectives, and that was kind of his turn. Nothing crazy for his first turn, although his Long Fangs went fucking Super Saiyan and did something like 10 damage to a knight. I was suitably impressed, and then definitely a little worried about the future of my knights with these Long Fangs on the go. They're pretty mean. They reroll ones to hit innately or wound, they can choose. And he has had a strat he pops on there for just reroll wound rolls. It's pretty clutch. Yeah, like that a lot. So moves over to me. I do my movement phase. I measure some moves out again, like mark it down, don't get things wrong, no takey backsies. And I'm about halfway through my movement phase. I'm just working out what to do with one of my Crusaders when I suddenly realise that there's windows in this building, which we've known for all, right? But sometimes something seems like really obvious, and why didn't I think of that sooner? But it's just working its way through your brain a little bit at a time. This was one of those moments. I looked down at the table, and it clicked. I went, oh shit. And Max went, what's wrong? I just looked at it, oh shit. If my knight moves and touches that building, I can see through it, and I can see Ragnar. And it was like, oh shit. So he moved around a little bit, and one of my Crusaders walked up to a wall, pushed his hands through, and blew Ragnar off the table. We put everything into Ragnar, and just the fucking Gatling gun did it. That was the end of the Wolf Lord. His saga has been sung. Now, my opponent and I had literally had that conversation with the TO and between each other on like the fact that was a possibility. You can see through things. But he put Ragnar right in front of an impulsor, which means that he was the closest visible target and was eligible to be shot at. Lookout Sir rule didn't come into effect. So I felt for Max at that point. He's lost 2 of his 3 characters, both of which add a lot of punch to the army. And that was kind of the story of the game. He played well from that point onwards, played from behind really well, but let himself get absolutely tilted by that. Next you know, he's forgetting litanies, so I'm reminding him. He's making mistakes in his movement, so I'm saying, look, you know, why don't we just go back a little bit? You know, you can't score. If you do what you're about to do, you can't score your deploy scramblers, so why don't you move this way instead of doing that? You know, and we kept trying to keep him in the game. He was obviously frustrated. I'm feeling it. Crazy yanked! Almost missed the stream. You did, man. You did. But you're here in the end. That's all that matters. Because I don't like having those bad games. I don't like having the game where my opponent is a spectator, although I appreciate sometimes it happens, especially with the army I play. And we've all been there. We've all made mistakes. And let's be honest. A lot of times you're playing a game and you know what's going to happen in your turn, their turn, and your next turn. That's how I like to play my games, to plan it out to around that. So I'm usually not surprised by stuff unless it's just weird dice roll shit. Like killing Santa Claus in one go. But if you can do that, if you know how the game is going to be played out from this point onwards, you can definitely not be a dick about it. Help out your opponent, you know, it's all good. So I won the game pretty well. I want to say it was an 80-ish point win. All these are on BCP, I could look, but and a handful of airbrush and Magnus right now. Solid game. So going towards the end of day 2, we are 1 loss, 2 wins. Played 2 tough lists and 1 that was less, you know. The 4th person name, Christmas is cancelled. If he dies, he dies. Game 4, day 3. We get to try and collect the set. Going up against Joe Moscatini this time and his Blood Angels. Now, Joe's a dark horse. This is, remember, the Hobby Fluffy event. And so Joe has brought a Hobby Fluffy army of just Primaris infantry, with the notable exception of Sanguinary Guard, a Smash Captain, a Sanguinary Ancient, and Librarian Dreadnought. Now, I think almost everyone looked at Joe's list and went, that's not so bad, it's kind of fluffy. Yeah, I like it, mate, I like it. What's that Vinnie Jones quote? Like, if the milk's sour, I ain't the kind of pussy to drink it. I think that was it. I looked at that list and I went, this is fucking disgraceful. You've got a phenomenal board control list and nobody else has realised. They're all sat there going, oh, great man, love these infantry, and yes, they look sick. Super sick. Oakin, you just need another 15 minutes, man, and then you'll be there. Looking at your meeps. So I knew how Joe wanted to play the game. He wanted to obviously be on all the objectives. He wanted his Smash Captain to go and kill 2 knights turn 1. He wanted his Libby Dread to go and kill a knight turn 2. Then he wanted his Sanguinary Guard to kill a knight turn 3. That was his game plan. Unfortunately for Joe, we were on a table that had literally the shittest possible scenery. It was the same one I played in game 1. Nemod! Thanks very much, dude. You're now eligible to enter that sub-only giveaway later on. We are 45 minutes away from the stream boss being celebrated and given 10,000 meeps, which means we are 50 minutes away from our first giveaway, that £50 hobby voucher. So 50 and 50. I like it. So we played on the same table with just some ruins in the corners, which were fortunately again in our deployment zone. Danny, it takes fucking forever to learn that shit, mate. Honestly, you're doing really well. Really, really well. Off a 1.5 hour lesson, you've got some basic but decent NMM down. I'm proud of you, man. Need some more varnish when they're out. Get a bit cloudy in here. So I go first. You've already had 1 or 2 little discussions about the game. So the first one is like dice rolls. If they ain't flat, they're cocked. He's like, yeah, that's how I like to play it. That's cool. Ace. Next one is once you've moved a unit, once you've moved a mini, that's it. It's moved. End off. So use tokens or whatever. You're like, where's that in the rules? Well, it's in the rules, in the movement phase part of the rules. No, it's not. Right. Okay, right. It's always been in the rules, dude. Like, even in like previous editions, it was in the rules. Move units one at a time up to its length in movement means once you've moved a unit, it's moved. Then you move another one. And in 9th edition, they've made it really, really clear that once you've moved a unit, it cannot be moved for any other purpose. But I find myself having to fucking explain this to almost every competitive player. Some of which have even got their own YouTube channels. It's not Mikey. Because people want to play fast and loose with a movement phase. No. Movement phase is super important. Decision making is everything in this game. It's critical. It's crucial. And so you must do it right. And if you don't, then that's on you. Basically. So we hadn't started the game and I had to get the rulebook out and show him the passage in the rulebook. I then looked again at his army of around 75 minis with a fuck ton of rerolls. And I said, so we are going to get 5 equal turns out of this game, right? And the answer was, well, yeah, your turns don't take very long. You know, we'll be fine. I said 5 equal turns, but my turns take a while, mate. I'm like, yeah. You know, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. I'm like, all right. I mean, I've got an app on the phone. I can grab the clock if you think it won't be fine, or if you'd rather take your time in your turns and really think. That way, there's no pressure for like me trying to give you to hurry up or anything. No issue. Like, you can't use a clock. It's an ITC event. I can ask for a clock if I need to. Like, no, that's not in the rules pack. Okay, it's going to be one of those games then. Now, I'm going to say something now, and this is how I want you guys to remember the game that I had against Joe. Joe is a very passionate player, and he wants to win every game he plays. I am exactly the same. Every single game I play, I want to decimate my opponent. I want to leave them like a fucking wreck on the side of the table, crying for their mum, bleeding out their bumhole. I want to destroy their army. But I'm not going to cheat to do it. Neither will Joe. I'm not going to abuse bullshit parts of the rules. Neither will Joe. So, we're both very much somebody that wants to win. I have an enormous amount of experience at a competitive level, and so I don't get rattled by this kind of thing at the start of the game. However, my opponent may not have as much experience, maybe go into some of the more, let's just say, hardcore competitive events. I can do a narrative event if it's narrative and everything is narrative and it doesn't matter if you win or lose, it advances the story. I can do those, that's fine. But when there is something on the line, I'm going to win. I'm going to win fairly, I'm going to win right, but I'm going to win. So, don't take from my report of this game that Joe is an arse, because he's not. There were some times in the game that he was feeling a little overly emotional, and it got to him a little bit. Most people have been there, myself included. You know, it's definitely something that's easy to have happen. So don't take from this that Joe's an arse at all. Lovely dude. Went out with him for dinner several nights that week. Bought him plenty of drinks. You know, he's a good guy. I'd happily play him again. On stream. That would be sick. Watch Blood Angel get savaged. I mean, you know. Yeah, George, you're absolutely right. You know. So, because we're on basically Planet Bowling Ball with a few hills, Joe's a little worried about what will happen if I go first, and so leaves a lot of his army off the table. Now, his army, I said, he's a Smash Captain with Angel's Wings, you'd expect, a Libby Dreadnought, a Sanguinary Ancient with the Standard of Sacrifice, again, somewhat expected. Here's the unexpected shit. He has 3 units of 5 Reavers, he puts in Deep Strike. A Phobos Lieutenant, he puts in Deep Strike, that's got some weird Warlord trait. Master of the Vanguard. He's got 2 units of 10 Intercessors with a Thunder Hammer on the Sergeant. A unit of 10 Assault Intercessors. Some normal Intercessors. No, I said that. Oh, some Infiltrators. That was it. 2 units of 5 Infiltrators. Reavers aren't bad if you play them right. And it's more about what their abilities allow them to do than what they will do on the table. Ogrekin! Thank you very much for that sub, dude. You're not eligible. Exclamation point win, exclamation point mystery. And then if you can still see it ghostly on the map there, exclamation point how as well. Right. Just going to give these a quick go of just air, cool those down a little bit after that, and then we'll put a little bit more of this varnish on before we come back in with some washes. So yeah, that was his list. He combat squadded, and I feel this was a mistake. I feel this was a big mistake. Combat squadded everything. Now I know he was thinking, behave. There we go. I know he was thinking, don't want to get overkilled by Gatling cannons, so I'm going to make Jay's army less efficient by making him split fire into smaller units and so on. That's the plan. Great plan. But here's why I believe it was a mistake. What it meant was that his Thunderhammer wielding intercessor sergeants suddenly had 4 ablative wounds, not 5. Sorry, not 9, rather. Not 5, definitely not 5, 9. Which meant they were obviously easy targets for me to take out. It's a no-brainer, that one. Kill the Thunderhammers, win the game. So I wouldn't have done that. Combat squadding the regular assault intercessors that don't have special weapons and stuff now, yeah, sure, I understand that one. I get that entirely. Gives you more board control, more presence, stops that overkill like I was saying. So yeah, that's a good one for you. Just in general, I like it. But I wouldn't have done that for the Thunderhammers. Now this mission was one where you had the rule of hold an objective, it's yours until your opponent claims it. And this was another mistake. He hadn't read that. And I was under the impression that he had, because we'd had an entire night to read the mission, work out our secondaries, go through our opponent's army lists, all that sort of good stuff. And either he forgot or he just didn't know, which was a shame. But never mind. In 9th, there are, I think, 3 missions where that's a thing, and you've got to be cognizant of that. You've got to make sure you read it. But never mind. Never mind. So he deployed in such a way as to protect his Smash Captain and his banner as well as possible, and also to get onto the objective in his deployment zone really easily. In fact, he started deployed on that whilst also in the cover of a building that I couldn't see him in. And we absolutely smashed through everything we shot at in our first turn. We killed both units of Thunderhammer wielding intercessors, because again, like I was saying, there's only a few ablative wounds now, and they were necessary to kill. We got a couple of Honor Guard down. That's it, I had 1 unit of Honor Guard as well. Honor Guard Vets. Blade Guard Vets, that's it, not Honor Guard. Blade Guard Vets. Got a unit of those down. Because there's Blood Angels, they're sick, mate. They wound Knights on 4s, they do 2 damage at -3. With a lot of attacks, they're horrendous. So I needed those down too. But it was a good shooting phase for me. I even tried to bait his Smash Captain out a little bit by throwing a Crusader into combat just close enough that he could do his 6-inch heroic intervene and get in combat with me. So, let's see if he falls for the bait. This was with the knight that obviously has all the invuln saves. He was going well up the middle, as he's the only one that can take the punishment from these guys. Now, Joe didn't take the bait, which is a good thing, because if you heroic intervene, I can hit you because you're an eligible target. Okay. So we kill a load of marine stuff, feeling in a good place, killed like 4 units, 5 units. Joe's now got to play from behind a little bit to keep in the game. Now, playing from behind is a skill. Anyone in the chat here that is a tournament player will know what I'm talking about here. For those of you that don't, this is why it's super important not to tilt, and why you need to be able to play a game essentially emotionless. To play from behind, your opponent is in a dominant position, and you need to know what to do and when to do it to take his advantage away from him, potentially slowly. Maybe you can't just do it in one go, and put yourself in a dominant position instead. It is super, super difficult to do, and requires, frankly, a lot of games with your army. If you don't have it, it's going to be super hard to come out of that position. But Joe played from behind better than anyone I have ever played in my life. He took risks where they needed to be taken to allow him to continue through the game. And he thought about everything. Now, in my turn 2, in his turn 1, he decided he was going to go for it. He was too far down already. He needed to be in a good position. So with his librarian, he used Wings of Sanguinius, flew that over towards my warlord on the one flank. It's got 2 up armor save. You can knock that off now. Moved everything else around the big knight in the middle of the table. Took some objectives, did a little bit of damage with shooting, but nothing crazy. And he said to me, when he moved his librarian over, it's like, you're going to overwatch this and kill it now. I know. To set the scene, we've got a big rock up here. And he's just moved a unit of 5 infiltrators around. I've got a knight here, and he's just flown his dread over here. So his dread's got like a 6-inch charge. He's got quickening on with Blood Angels +1. He's got like maybe a 3-inch charge. There's a unit of infiltrators right here. So I flat out said to him, I guarantee you I'm not going to kill your Libby Dread in Overwatch. Because in my head I was like, he just charges with the infiltrators. What is this absolute rubbish expected? Not killing that Dread. He got to his charge phase. And declares a charge with a Dread. And I'm like, he didn't advance with those guys. Alright. So I said, okay. Here's my command point then. I'm going to Overwatch. And now we've decided all of those things are going to happen. Can I just ask, why didn't you charge with these guys? And he looked at the table and was just like, what the fuck am I doing? Like I said, he played from behind like a champ. But he was tilted, and it's easy to make those mistakes. So you've got to just look at everything fresh eyes as much as you can. If you need to just like pop off for 5 minutes, this is why I love playing with chess clock. If I'm in a position where I'm going to tilt, I say to my opponent, look, tell you what, mate, I just need 2-3 minutes. Clock's on me. Don't worry. Go and get my head back in the game. Said this to his brother as well in the previous game. If we'd been playing on the clock, you could have just done that. You know? This is why they're good. They're good for the game. People argue that you can't have a social game with a clock. Yes, you can. You can. You just talk at the right times. You know, and to put a limit on it, it just means that, like, if your opponent's trying to make a fuckload of armor saves and do something complicated, don't have a chat then when the clock's on him. Have a chat when the clock's on you. Gonna play me at top level tourney. Invite me down, dude. When COVID's out of the way, you and me. I'll tell you what, mate. Have a corker, definitely a corker. You'd need a cork afterwards just to help keep everything, you know, staying within after the absolute savage beating that you'd be getting. So, you know. I'll play Jade a beer and pretzel game. I can't have pretzels, mate. Gluten. Fuck the glutens. Airbrush out of the way. Let's get some washes on the go. We need to replace our wet palette, I think. Anyway, he made the charge with his Dreadnought. I didn't kill it in Overwatch, so I did do a couple of wounds, which was kind of nice. Although when I rolled 6 for the number of shots on a thermal cannon, he did nearly poo himself. Unfortunately, I rolled no hits, so never mind. Never mind. Gluten-free pretzels, they don't taste good at all, mate. I have tried some of these things like that. That's a no. That's a no. The AOGT I would love to go to. I have some travel companions for that already, but if I'm honest, I speak to two of the organisers for that on a nearly daily basis, and they haven't been forthcoming with like a definite yes, this is going ahead. So I haven't booked flights, hotel, or any of that yet, just because I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling like it's a definite go. So yeah, it's rough. I've been looking forward to that since last year. So a beer and scotch game. Now you're on. Now you're on. That's apple juice, by the way, Twitch. Like, no bans, por favor. Let's get some washes. We need some purple tone, which I think is this one. No, it's flesh. Yep, purple tone. I want some Weight Watcher green, the GW glaze. Is that it? It's one of the only things I've got left in a pot. No, that's some more lock on. You're here somewhere. That's oils. That's it. There we go. Weight Watcher green. Gonna want some of that. Some of that. Oh, Girlyman blue as well. Yep. Some of that. The reason I'm going with these instead of the Army Painter washes, they've got a little bit more of a vivid colour to them, which I really, really like. So that's why. I don't have a bright pink wash, so we'll just use a purple tone and be careful with it over the processed magenta section of this. I'm going to thin the ever-living fuck out of these. I just want to make sure that this is dry. It's a little tacky. May have to give this a bit more of a rest. I think Magnus, if there's other things to do, we can do his talons for a bit. We've also only got 23 minutes and counting, 22 now, before we do the boss battle. So this is currently being won by Fish. If he's still the boss at exactly 25 minutes past 11, he gets 10,000 meeps. Grimmy, holy shit, dude, long time no see. How are you? This is the guy I've done a load of ultramarines for that you'll see in this this gallery. Why on earth are you winning it? Because you are, I guess. If you want to damage the boss, you do any of the things that the Twitch wants you to do to help support a streamer. So cheer with some bits, do a donation, subscribe or follow. I think that's it. If you are the boss, if you do any of those things, you heal yourself instead. So these glazes I've had for fucking ages. This is how I do my Alpha Legion, is with these things. So yeah, loving it. Right, let's do some of Maggie's claws, I think. So we've just done so far a strong tone wash over Melith White base. Let's grab the base and highlight, and let's also get ourselves a little bit of pure white, Melith White. Too many sprues with the host. That doesn't damage the boss. Before anyone else gives that one a go. That's a no. Grimmy, I'm doing good, dude. I'm doing good. So, we're in a game against Joe, and his Libby isn't dead. Dirty Habit! He wants to be the boss. He wants those meeps. Let's see how much you want to be the boss. You might have just snuck in there a little too early, mate. Who knows? Right, where is that water bottle? There it is. Need this now. So the Libby Dreadnought goes bailing into my Warlord. Doesn't die on Overwatch. The Smash Captain goes in. And I'm looking at my command points pool. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I can interrupt. And Joe knows I can interrupt. He's a good player. Is a good player. Get the ball rolling. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. So he thinks about it for a minute or so. And he elects to fight with the Libby Dreadnought first, which is exactly the right thing to do. Because one of my knights is going to kill the other thing stone cold dead. The other thing in this case, of course, being the Chapter Master. That is definitely something that's got to die. Don't want it fighting twice. And I've asked Joe before the game if he knows anything about knights, and he's like, yeah, totally okay with knights. Know what we're doing. So my assumption... Cormag! Thanks for the follow, man. There you go. A little bit of damage there on Dirty Habit because of that follow. Chipping away at the boss. So yeah, I assumed that Joe knew I could rotate in combat, and I'm pretty sure I even said when I went through my relics, 5-up save and go to a 4 on the invul. So should have been no surprises here that when I interrupted and killed his Smash Captain, and his Smash Captain then turned to strike me, I put my invuln up. That caused a bit of a discussion, but was otherwise fine. And so the Smash Captain didn't kill the other knight. He fought twice with the Libby Dreadnought after fighting on death with the Smash Captain, so he really rinsed through his CP in this turn. But Blood Angels tend to just blow their load right up at the start. You need all of those pre-game buffs with your Death Visions of Sanguinius and so on. Deacon Frost, thank you for the follow. Did 1,000 damage per follow. It's good damage today. Good damage today. See how survivable Dirty Habit is. So not the best turn for Joe. He does kill a knight after fighting twice with Libby. I know he wanted to. If he got to, that would have been game over. I think. Thank you for that sub, mate. 2 months. Absolute superstar. So yeah, there's been not the turn that he wanted, but it was still a decent turn. You know, killed a knight, only lost really Smash Captain. Can't argue with that. Can't argue with that. But it does mean that his Libby Dread is now out of position and likely to get murdered. He knew it was a trade when he sent it over that side. And so, lo and behold, in my turn, we killed the Libby. Killed a unit of Intercessors, or whatever they're called, the Stealthy Boys, in front of it, Incursors. Clear out a lot of the rest of the board. And Joe's looking in a pretty poor spot. Now, the entire point of me going ham and killing his units isn't to score points. But it helps. It's a solid side effect. It's to force his hand into bringing his reserves in on his battle round 2 rather than his battle round 3. Now, Blood Angels, their super doctrine is in the assault phase. Sorry, in the assault doctrine. And it's only really useful in the fight phase. It's +1 attack. The last thing I want is for these Sanguinary Guard to come down before I get the chance to deal with them with an additional attack each. So I'm trying to force his hand into bringing his reserves in very early in comparison to where he wants them to be. Whilst I've also got knights on much higher wound profiles than where he wants them to be. I'm trying to make my opponent make a bad decision. Now, fortunately, this is what happens. He brings in his Sangard, and his Reavers, his little Warlord dude, the Phobos guy. Ogrekin! A cheeky little cheer in there. Thank you very much, dude. Chipping away. Chip damage works. That's what wins games. That's how you kill knights, that's for sure. Now, here's where the clock would have been really, really useful. We have 2 hours and 45 minutes to play each game. 2 hours 45 is, if I'm honest, about 45 minutes more than you really need to play a 2,000 point game of 40k. But with a little bit of banter in there, and not having to be a robot at the table, it's a good time limit. The ones we run at our local are normally 2.5 hours a round, and I've only had to talk through games with players that are very inexperienced. So it's still plenty of time. Now, I've had 2 turns, and my turns, what I like to think to ensure my movement is correct, because that's the most important thing in a game, is getting your movement right. Maybe the 2 of them combined have taken me 40 minutes. Probably close to 35. Yeah, probably 35. By the time Joe has finished the deployment of his second turn, there is only 50 minutes left on the clock. That's a lot of time. This is what I was talking about earlier on with, like, are we going to get even turns? Because now I'm feeling like I might need to rush my turns because he's taken his time. Now, I'm not accusing him of slow play at all. Not in the slightest bit am I accusing that. I'd say it if I was. But you need to be a little quicker with that. It is everyone's responsibility as a competitive 40k player to ensure that fair play is upheld throughout the entirety of the game. This event was not that kind of event. This was specifically, in fact, marketed as not being a hyper-competitive event. But I would rather play with a clock in every single game than not play with one at all. For me personally. A lot of people don't like them. The people that don't like them, I feel, are normally, not always, but normally are people that just don't practice with one. Ask Jake, Hobo J in the chat. He and I play all of our games using a clock. And since we have, our games have been quicker because we found ways of managing our time better to ensure that fair play is had by all. So like I say, it's the duty of all competitive players to ensure that fair play is had at the table by both. So, Joe fails a few charges. In fact, he only really fails one. He fails the Sanguinary Guards charge, which is pretty big because had they gone in, they'd have murdered the Helverin. I'm still playing defensively with my Helverins to push him back from the last remaining Crusader that's on that side of the field. So he has had a bit of a meltdown at this point. There has been much swearing and lamenting of the fact that all he needs to do to win is make a charge roll, and he can't even make the charge roll. Which I feel was a little bit of a grandiose statement. But I can understand his frustration. I get it. We've all been there. But the game is not so much fun right now. And there is 40 minutes left on the clock. to play the other 3 turns. Rocky, not for players that are experienced. If you go into a tournament, then you've probably got some experience. 10 minutes left in the boss battle, guys. 10 minutes left. All I'm doing here, by the way, is just glazing in more and more of this Mouthwhite base. Just get a nice smooth coat on his talons. So I'm a little bit like, could we get just a little touch of a move on? And I've been not impatient, but I've sort of pushed for decisions to be made. And this is another reason why clocks are great. They solve all these issues straight away. It's your time. You do what you like with it. I don't mind. You can go to the loo. You can go and have a chat with your mates. You can go and sit in the corner and have a wank for all I care. That's on you at that point. So I go into my turn 3 and I say, right, I gain a command point at the start of the turn. I'm going to immediately spend that command point to make my knight, who you've unfortunately only brought down to 1 wound, act at full profile. There was a little bit of a whinge about how that strat is terrible and should be removed from the game, and I pointed out that if you remove that from the game, knights have literally no chance to win anything. Too Many Sprues basically go to a lot of events and play to win, but the correct way. I'd say that people that are win at all cost players are not competitive players. They're dickheads. People that go with a view to playing between, say, 3 and 9 games of 40k over a weekend in the fairest manner possible, with good sportsmanship at heart. That's how you become a competitive player. And then win a lot. That's the other part of it. The first one helps the second one, though. Anyway, so we go into this sort of situation where I'm going to make my knight act at full profile. He says, hang on a minute, when do you have to use that stratagem? I said, at the start of the turn. When do you get your command point back? That's in the command phase. That's not the start of the turn. I said, okay. That's fair. But there's no start of the turn phase. It's just you start the turn with the command phase. So I'm pretty sure that I gain my command point before I can use it. And even if not, I'm the controlling player. So at that point, I control the order of operations. And so as a result, I should be able to use my strat. And so, well, I don't think that's right. I think we should get a judge. This is the only time I had to call a judge in the entire event. We asked the judge's opinion on things once or twice for terrain to see how they were going to rule it and stuff like that. But this is the first time I had to call a judge. In fact, the only time, like I said, I had to call a judge at this event. And Ogrekin getting some cheers in. We have 6 minutes left. Let me bring up the clock before I forget. Tab. 5 minutes and 35 seconds. And the music stops at exactly that point in time. Good for it. So I asked the judge, bear in mind, very little time on the clock. And in my head, part of me is thinking, this is a bullshit argument. I know I'm right. I'm pretty sure my opponent knows I'm right. And I don't think this is like a time-wasting exercise, but it feels like one right now. So we ask one of the judges, like, when do I get this back? And he comes over to the table And he says, look, let me go away and we'll look at the book. I said, look, please don't take this the wrong way, but time is ticking. I could really do with this decision being made quickly, or have the round timer paused. Holy shit! Sons of Rolo is like, no, it's mine. He's the boss right now. Let's get some love in the stream for that man right there. Absolute boss. Literally. There are 4 minutes and 15 seconds for you to keep that, Mr. Peters. Can you do it? Let's get some love for this absolute superstar. So what we did. I'm the boss. I'm not the boss, mate. I'm not the boss. I'm just some scrub on Twitch. Yes, we are. So all the wings will be like that. But those I can't do on stream. Because to try and get the right angles on this with the airbrush and have it on camera is going to be a complete pain in the ass. So we're just going to base coat a lot of the rim of this with the brush. And just airbrush in the rest of it. Easy peasy. I'm the captain now. 3.5 minutes. But this is the pearlescent wing that we've got going on. And as you can see, by the time this is surrounding good old Mags, it's just going to look beautiful. Here you go, Rock. So we've got a load of washes to go into there, but we're waiting for this varnish to fully cure before we do so. You see from the underside, you've got all that colour in there. From the top side, very pale. We're working that up to bright white with some brushed highlights. Not going to leave that in the sort of semi-dusty state that it's in now. Here's the other one. Gonna look sick when they're behind him. Oh! Ogre King coming in with a bigger cheer now. Just ramping up. Just ramping up. I'm going to grab some Menoth White highlight and continue the highlights. See what I've done there? On these claws and talons. Oh, wait, shit. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Nearly forgot. He's got another hand. Got to do this one. 2 minutes 15. So, bit of a rough time. Because of time. And we get a result back from the judge. I've moved some of my stuff under agreement from both the judges and my opponent, where I can continue parts of my turn that are non-affected by this. December Wind! Thank you for that sub, man. Time does fly when you're watching paint dry. A little bit more damage done to Sons of Rolo. I love this. Remember, the boss has to have the update on screen for it to count. If it's not on screen, it doesn't count. Remember, there is a stream delay. Good luck trying to time it. Ready to me. 1 minute 20. It's always super exciting. Glad you're liking the sword. I've only done one half. We haven't done this side yet. But all this is up on YouTube. The Molten Blade. Des! Oh! 1 minute left, exactly. Let's see what the bot makes of this.
Boom Shanker, an interception.
Oh, brilliant. Fucking brilliant. Boom Shanker, an interception. Oh! Oh shit. Oh shit. Ogre King is spoiling it now. We've got loads of gift subs. The bot is going to be busy. Will Des live for another 15 seconds? Or will these subs kill him? No, I think Des is going to live. 3, 2, 1, bam! Oh! Dirty Havoc gets in! Oh! stolen! Stolen by Dirty Habit. Ogikin just in past the line. Oh! Damn. Damn. That was close, boys. That was super close. Fuck. Oh, man. Man, the fight over that. Freaking lag. Sorry, brother. Oh. Okay, let me give Ogikin's sub gifts their meeps. So your M-Tap. 119. Love that big Yondu cheer. Absolutely love it. Can we please get some love in the stream for our current stream boss, Ogikin, who made very short work of the stream boss winner, Dirty Habit. Let's get some love for both these cool people. Scribbler, give you your meeps. There you go, mate. You're now eligible for that mystery giveaway. Cetrio88. Damn, man. You're an old schooler. You need to spend these meeps. We got Cloma, one of my favourite people ever. And then we have Cutoff Bauer. And bam, there we go. All the meeps have been updated. What did I miss in the chat? Need to give Dirty Habit his meeps. Oh, dude, you just won big. There you go. Check your meeps now, son. But that should be another 25 tickets that you can get. Your stream quit. What happened? The stream boss came, peaked, and then immediately got shot down, but did hold on to the crown for just long enough. M. Graining needs his meeps as well. Except I can't spell. G-R-A-E. No, have I spelled it wrong again? G-R-O-E? Yeah, O-E. Boom. Here you go, man. That's 6k now for you. Spend it well. Spend it all in one place. Kareem, peace out, brother. Take it easy. And cool. I think that's everyone. Right. So we have got a couple of minutes left in the giveaway for that £50 hobby voucher. So if you would like to win £50 to spend at a hobby retailer of your choice, as long as they have some sort of voucher system, or they're frozen, in which case we'll sort something out. Exclamation point, how? Exclamation point, what's Wistery? Wistery is not a command. Mystery or win. One of those two will tell you what's going on. If you're thinking about being a sub, then now is definitely the time to do it. Because not only we're giving away that voucher, and you will earn some channel currency to buy your tickets with, you could win a mini painted by me in a colour scheme of your choice. Currently slightly dusty white. One of the minis up for grabs is Sergeant Joven. The other is the Gloomspite Gits Loon Boss. Both of these are fucking cool minis. We've got epic Space Marine dude just chainsawing an orc's head off. We've got super cool Goblin guy just on top of the coolest mushrooms ever. But if you feel like neither of those two things is what you're after, you could take the contents of the mystery box. Now, the mystery box has contained things like a Wraith Knight, Limited edition Space Marine Heroes. What else we had? That Nurgle dude that was super cool. We used as the Barbarian. Crownblade being gifted a sub. Danny, absolute superstar. Here you go, Crownblade. There you go, sorted. This could be anything that's been on these shelves. You can see in the background there's some cool stuff here. But it's also a gamble. This could be... Oh, holy shit! Dirty Habit! Get his sub in! He's just gone through all of that. And it wasn't even a sub! Dirty Habit, there you go. Your meeps are already in. You're now eligible for that mystery giveaway. This is what we're talking about. Inside this box could be anything. We then also, tonight only, got 2 more prizes up for grabs. Hey, Hype Train level 3. Absolute stuff. Story time is not over. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Thank you to everyone on that Hype Train. 9 subs, 2k bits. Crazy. I had to go through all of the users that have entered this giveaway. If I don't call your name out, you're not in. Spend your beeps. Exclamation point how to find out how to do so. So currently in, we've got Hicko, Hobo J, Dez, Crooked Grin, Big Brom, Toonie Sprues, AJC, Dan Brook, Ventress, Sons of Rolo, This is Kets TV, The Johnsonator, Lulu, George, Sarah, Rocky, Keldon Raven, Tiz, Jager, Malv just subscribed. Absolute superstar. Get your meeps spent right now, son. That's 3,000 meeps you just earned. Exclamation point how for instructions. Danny, Janelle, Capriconda, Daddy Tubbs. Wow, there's many in this one. Mel Swear, Sammy P, Mr. Chillmore, Ogikin, Basie, Polly, Ichu, Pirate Dan, Crownblade, Dyson, Zen41, Target number 4, Moon, Ring Sting, John, Fish, Abandoned Arms, Crazy Yank, Grimmy, Macy. Damn, Macy's going in hard on this one. Macy wants it. Squeezel, Flesherton, Nemod, Chimo, Dirty Habit. Decent tickets there, man. December Wind. I think I got that right. Is it Mave? Malv? Malv. Sept. S-E-P-T. It's a bit tricky to see, but it should be in the how part of it. Yeah, Sept. Choo choo, motherfucker. Bam. There you go. You're in as well as you right at the bottom. So we'll give this another minute and a half. You've got to spend your meeps. Otherwise, that's it. You've missed out. And we will continue our story about Joe and our game. So it was decided by the guys at SN, after reading the part in the command phase where it says, start the turn, before anything else can happen, it give it a command point. So at that point, my knight rotated. Machine Spirit Resurgent, fell back from combat. We blew the living shit out of everything that was still there, took all the objectives, won the game. Finished the game 76 to something. Decent score. Decent score. Which meant I then moved into game 5. Here's where shit got interesting. There was quite a few of us at 3 wins and 1 loss. And Fletch, the person that was eventually going to go on to win the event, was the only person at 4 wins and 0 losses. And he was going to go and play Chris, who had the Nurgle Demon Engine army that I had to play in game 1. Now, interestingly, if Chris won that match, that would mean that everybody that was 4-1 had a chance at first place. It all come down to battle points at that point. So that was tricky. That was... We all had a bit of something to look forward to. However, not to be a cunt, and I wanted somebody to win the event clean and clear. Although if Fletch lost and I did come first, I'd be quite happy with it. But I wanted to make sure that Fletch had the right advice going into his match. Almost every game that we'd played, I talked through his secondaries with him, made sure he was on the right page with that. So I gave him some advice on his secondaries, and I told him to just go 20 minutes before the game, just go and sit quietly by himself, sort his shit out. Just get his head in the game. Which is what he did. Then he came back and stamped all over that matchup. So, good lad. Right, let's do the draw. This is for the £50 hobby voucher. So if you haven't entered now, you're going to miss out. Your meets will carry over till next month. Don't you worry. Scribbler, you'd need a lot of meeps for that. Toonie Sprues, did you get your tickets in? You're here somewhere, right? I can't even see you. Toonie Sprues and Scribbler. Oh, there you are. Toonie Sprues, you're there. Yeah, Scribbler. I couldn't see you on the list. Check your meeps, man. Give you a couple of seconds. So going to the final game, I had to play against a guy called Phil, who I am super, super happy I get to play against. There you go, Diabolus, you're in with 4. Brilliant. Right, gonna close this one off. Giveaway's closed. So the winner of tonight's £50 hobby voucher to hobby stockist of their choice is Toonie Sprues! Congratulations, dude. Well done. Is this your first victory? I think it might be. I think it might be. Well done, brother. Came in with 150 odd tickets to win that. Rocky at 220. Macy on 176 odd. It's some big numbers in here. Wait, what? Well done, man. You nailed it. You nailed it. On Discord, I need you to send me your email address, usually. I'm going to need that. And where you would like the voucher for. Let's get some love in the stream, though, for this man. Decent mod. Decent mod. Now £50 richer. Well done, Chief. Gonna close this giveaway down, though. Boom. Clear everything. Again, keeping with everyone for this first one. No ticket cost. So, the Armed Painter over here on Twitch is a epic dude, and everyone should follow him. If he's on tonight, we are gonna raid his ass. Justin is one of the most positive people you'll find on Twitch. He sponsored the stream and our giveaway this month with 2 £25 vouchers to Death Ray Designs. I've just spent nearly 80 quid, well, $80 rather, in shipping fees to move a load of terrain from there to here because it looks sick as fuck, and you could get some as well. Anyone can enter this giveaway. We've got 81 people in the stream. The giveaway is open. Everyone, exclamation point DR1. Get yourself entered. You could win a £25 discount code. Essentially, you'll put it in. That voucher code will kick in. £25 off. Doesn't cover shipping. Got to pay your own shipping. But if you live in the US, easy peasy. If you live outside the US, honest to God, this stuff looks like it's worth it. Really. So, bear that in mind. Meanwhile, I'll talk to you guys about Phil and his army. So Phil has got an epic army. It's an army that I'd like to get myself. He has a battalion and a patrol. The battalion is 3 Keepers of Secrets, 5 units of 10 Demonettes, 1 unit of 15, 2 units of 5 Seekers, 3 Fiends. I mean, damn. Sorry, 4 units of 10 Demonettes, not 5. There's another one. He's then got a patrol. Unit of 10 Demonettes. Shalaxi Hellbait. A Lord of Change. So we've got 5 Greater Demons, 4 of which are going to be exalted. A shit ton of Demonettes everywhere. Some Fiends and some Seekers. This is a scary, scary list to face. He's got so much movement out of these that even on the playing the length of the table deployment that we're on, I have to stand right up against the back wall to not be charged by him turn 1. He has a 37-inch threat range with one of his Greater Demons of Slanesh. The other 2, he rolled the movement. They've got 36-inch threat. It's horrendous. With a big bird, he's taking the Impossible Robe. He's got Feel No Pains all over his Greater Demons with the shields and so on. They are very threatening. Now, Phil has steamrolled through everyone else he's played. So, I'm thinking this could be a tough game. The table is once again loads of buildings, but they're set out in kind of rows. And I get the feeling that when these tables were put together, they were looked at from a position of playing just Dawn of War. But as soon as you move through 90 degrees, you get clear fire lanes down every single table. So, not too sure on that one. I think that was maybe something that needs to be thought about a little bit more, and that there are different and specific terrain, deployment maps for each mission. So once you know what missions you've got in your pack, you can just choose which deployments you want, essentially based on that, and you know how you've got to deploy your terrain. Now, controversially, in this game, I didn't want to go first. Honestly. And we rolled off for choice of first turn, and Phil won the roll off. And went, cool, I'll go first then. Yes. Thank God. The reason I didn't want to go first, very simple. We'll give this another minute and a half. So 23:45, we'll do the draw. The reason I didn't want to go first, very simple. I'm currently in threat range of... Sorry, he's currently in my threat range. I'm not in his. I don't want to move forward because I'm going to instantly get countercharged. And also, the way the terrain is laid out, I can't get too many lines of sight on stuff. So what I really want is for him to move right up close to me. Then I will just burst out of my deployment zone, do a load of shoots, get a charge off, and despite the fact Slash has always strike first, because they would alternate against me, being the charger, it's fine. I'm going to get that first hit in. That's what matters. So I wanted to go second. Phil comes charging down the table at me. Is out of range for his psychic stuff. Is out of range of any guns that he may have. He's got the whips on the keepers. That's it. End of his turn. My first turn. I move some Halverins around to get line of sight on Shalaxi. I move my Crusaders up and forward. I make sure that my Warlord with 2 up armor save is right at the front. Go to 5 up invul, he's just off to the side. And old Endless Fury is right there in the middle, looking pretty safe. And we open fire. The 2 Helverins take Shalaxi down from 16 wounds to 2. Let's do this draw. Closing this now. If you're not in, exclamation point DR 1 for that Death Ray Designs voucher. I'll print you one. Hicko, Dirty Habit, Jaeger, Ogre, Keldon, Dez, Toony Spruce, Squeezle, Titan 4, Janelle, Tizd, December Wind, Sons of Rolo, Fish, Lee, Scribbler, Maeve, Grimmy, Hobo J, Mr. Chillmore, Polly, Svigler. I have no idea how to pronounce that, by the way. Kets, Last Verse Gaming, I guess. Last Verse Games. AJC72, Zen, Rocky, Ichu, Abansel Arms, Road Trader 13, Chimo, Sammy, Lulu, George, Davalos, Macy, and Matt. Where did Matt come from? There he is. How you doing, brother? So, gonna close this giveaway in 5 seconds. That's it. We're done. So for the first of 2 Death Ray Designs codes for £25 off in their store. Sorry, dollars off. $25 off. Is Jake Hobo J. Congratulations, man. So you can't use it on postage. You've got to pay the postage, but it's some cool looking stuff. Well done, mate. Message me on WhatsApp, and I will send you the code after the stream. Well done, dude. Well done. So let's reset this. I got a really itchy nose. And the next one is going to be sub only. Yeah, done one for everyone, one for subs now. We'll leave this going for another 2.5 minutes. George is in. There you go. It's filling up. It's good. So 2 Helverins took Shalaxi from full health down to 2 wounds. 2 Crusaders murdered another knight that had -1 to wound from ranged attacks on it. My last Crusader put all his guns into the one knight directly in front of it. It's the Warlord. Apart from the missiles, which he fired over a building to kill Shalaxi Hellbait. So far, 2 Exalted Greater Demons are dead. And it charges in and stamps all over a third one. Turns, blocks the road off, keeping Mr. Endless Fury completely safe. So in one turn, we've taken out 3 Greater Demons of Slaanesh. 1 special character, 2 Exalteds. There's 1 left, the Big Bird and some chaff. And Phil at that point, which is like, I don't know what to do. He basically moved around a little bit. He flew Big Bird over and went for Treasonous Edge. Now, I'd spaced my knights out, particularly to ensure that nobody was outside of an inch of another knight to keep them in combat. Because when you use Treasonous Edge, that model is treated as yours, and so if he's within an inch of mine, he's in combat. And in my head, I was like, that means he can't fire his guns. And when he cast it, I said, so this means he can't fire his guns. And fortunately, right next to the table was one of the TOs, and he went, but it's a vehicle, he can fire his guns. And in my head, I went, shit, you're absolutely right. Fuck, he can fire his guns. Wait. Thermal cannons blast. It's alright. Unfortunately for Phil, out of 6 spell casts with the bird, he only managed to get 1 successful spell. Yeah, it is sub only, bud. You could sub. We've still got a sub only giveaway to do after this as well, so you kind of get 2 for 1 on your giveaway. So we'll give this another 10 seconds. So get yourself in. Got George, Fish, Last Verse Games, December Wind, Chimo, Malv, Lee, I'll print you one. There's Titan 4, Kets, Ichu, Toony Spruce, Rolo, Calden Raven, AJC, Oakin, Diabolus, Hobo, Scribbler, Polly, Janelle, S. Farrell, Hiko, Macy, and Zen. Let's shut this one down. And then we can move on to the cool one. Start doing some of the whip gallery as well. It's closed. And the winner of the second... But, Jaeger, you just missed it. Go on. Get in. Get in. Jamartin! It's you! That is much easier. There you go. You're in. Right. Anyone else? Any other last minute scrubs? You know? Closing that. The winner is, for the second of the 2 vouchers, $25 off Death Ray Designs, Macy! Congratulations, man. Send me a message on Discord to remind me to give you the code after the stream, please. Let's get some love in the stream for Mr. Mace and for Hobo J, both of which are going to get themselves some cool kit from Death Ray Designs, courtesy of the Armed Painter. Let's not forget that. Justin, the absolute boss. X-Mod this time. Yeah, I know, right? Well done, Chief. Not sure he's there. Okay, let's reset this. We're going in now for that all-important one. This is subscriber only. If you would like to win either the contents of the mystery box or the Loon Boss or Joven, you could take home either of these 2 minis or what's in here. All you've got to do is be a subscriber. We'll do the draw while we do some of the whip. In here is a mini. That's all. It could be anything. I don't understand this boat thing. Like, I don't get the boat. If someone said Gwyneth Paltrow's head, I'm on board. I don't understand the boat thing. But these are the prizes up for grabs for this month. The Loon Boss, Joven, or the box. We're opening the giveaway to subscribers only now. The winner gets to choose which one of these 3 things they want and the colour scheme it's painted in. It doesn't have to be an Ultramarine. It could be your own chapter. Could be another Imperial Fist. That was what we did last time. Could be anything. We'll do some freehand on the shoulder pads. If you choose this guy, we get to paint some cool looking mushrooms, and I can't wait. It's going to be super, super sick. If you choose this guy, we'll do some freehand on the armor. We'll do some painting on the stuff and things. Some sort of scenic base. Probably. And we'll forget what I might or might not have said. No, shut up. Shut the fuck up. Right, let's go have a look in the whip gallery. Exclamation point Discord. Get yourself in and over there. Let's see who's got some work in progress from tonight's stream. First one was George. So George, I saw this in the chat and I am slightly impressed. I'm going to be not so secretly impressed in a minute, but I have got some feedback for you. So George has been working on this pretty sick looking diorama. We've got Death Jester up here. We've got this really nice set of terrain that he's constructed. And then this really nice version of the elf chick with the like sort of satiny cloak on. Big fan of this. I really, really like your use of light, your use of weathering powders, and so on. This is, I feel, the best thing that I've seen you paint. But I do have some feedback for you. This is great. But that light needs something. It's very flat at the moment, whereas nothing else on any of this is flat. That is, though. So, my suggestion is that you maybe darken down the corners a little bit more. Maybe amp up the light on the inside of those panels. You could either do like light reflections like we've done on windows and stuff before, or you could just build that up to a bright white or like a light cream color, that off-white bone, somewhere in the middle of each of those. Everything else on this, yeah, mate, fucking solid work. Honestly. But that flat yellow kills it for me. Got to do something about that. Absolutely got to do something like that. The photo quality has indeed improved. We can actually see what it is you've painted. And it's fucking great, mate. Honestly, really, really like it. 10 out of 10, mate. Well, 9 out of 10. Get that light done. 10 out of 10. Great work. Keep it up. Let's see more like that from you, yeah? Maladeus. What is this abomination? Black base rims. This is very pretty. It's a no from me. It's different. It's very different. I love what you've done with the Mini. He looks great, but I can't deal with that base rim, man. Can't deal with that. That's fucking Liberace's base rim. Just no. Practice my atrocious freehand on the rim. Might make a theme on all. Might say that it makes me want to vomit. So sorry, bad photo quality. I can't get behind the pink. Yeah. That pulls your attention away from all the rest of the miniature that you've painted, that you've been working on for what feels like about a month. Don't do it. Just need a weird base rim to distract you. That'll get killed first. It's off the table then. You know? Always black base rims. I can't even look at that anymore. We're done on that one, man. We're done. Really didn't enjoy painting this. I think it was because of the shield, as I finished the main model, then waited 2 days for it to start the shield. Good to see you back. Cheers, Quid. So, this guy has been painting some fucking sexy looking Space Marines. I'm a big fan of these, and I was totally wrong about that brazier on the back of his shield. I thought it was a little bit too big for the Mini. Clearly incorrect. This looks awesome. Love that little side he's got. Is that one of the 30k Death Guard Terminator ones? Maybe even Typhus himself. Great work, dude. Really nice work on that scroll at the front. You've done great work there. No green flock. No. No goblin green rims. No. No. Nostalgic and cool. Two different things. Two very different things. Power perms from the 80s. Nostalgic. Not cool. Shell suits. Nostalgic. Not cool. That's a no. Crown Blade, start of a new force, he says. This does look pretty sick. Is this a slightly different colour scheme to your infantry guy? Fish, I definitely stopped before I said Mohawk, alright? Like, that was tactical. Non-metallic metal goblin green. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you can knock yourself out with that as much as you want. Didn't that scheme? Okay. I like it, dude. Yeah, sort of darkish green, blue, scaly green sort of colour. Works really well with that soft desaturated metallic. Like the little bone accents you've got in there. Yeah. Yeah, this is solid, dude. I think this is definitely your best one yet. Every part of this miniature is easily visible. Nothing bleeds into another part. Yeah. Very, very good, man. Very good. Maybe go just one step higher with your highlights on the bone sections. Crooked Grin. Thank you very much for that sub, dude. Now get yourself in that mystery raffle. So, not shit. Wow, your delay is pretty up there. Yeah, just go with a slightly brighter bone. Just pick out a couple of small edges, nothing major. But that's sound. Really sound. And the basing, whilst very minimalist, I really like it. You've got a few of those little lumps in for some rock. You've got a little bit of scrap or whatever on the base. Then you've got those nice tufts. And you've chosen the right colour for those as well. They really, really do go along with this model. Hobo J. Do some Dwarf Blood Bowl stuff. Is this Andy's Dwarf team that you've been doing for the last, like, year and a bit? December Wind, you flatterer. According to eBay, everyone's a pro painter. Only some people are pro painters on eBay. I am not an eBay pro painter. Martin, you'll have to just come down and have some lessons, dude. We'll sort you out. Jesus, he put it on. Oh, he put it on hold. Okay, that's fair. I like him, man. I always like this color scheme. That blue's really, really sick. Obviously, there's a lot of oranges in there. Quality color base rims. You know, what's more to ask for? This is great. Nice work, champ. Nice work. There you go. Go follow Jake over on Insta. Right, Danny, going from never doing NMM to this. Hope to improve my blend soon and also better brush control, but these come with practice. So, this was the painting lesson that Danny and I had last Monday. Ogrekin, no problem, dude. So, never done NMM. Looking at the leg there. Not his hand. Not bad. For a first attempt, for someone that has very limited experience doing brush blending, this is coming out really, really well. You need to darken down those recesses a little bit more. You can get some absolute black in there. And just bring up the final highlight on all of those little peaks to the absolute brightest that it could possibly be. Hence, use some white. Let's have a look at the hammerhead. Yeah, not bad there either, dude. You need to outline that a little bit more. So, again, go right to that very, very bright highlight color and just hit those edges. So each is basically painting with like real paint instead of silver paint and gold paint, the way that normal artists would paint. Miniature painters think it's something special. Normal painters think it's just called painting. Same as we call drawing a design on our miniature freehand, everyone else calls it art. You know, one of those. Liking it, dude. Keep it up. Wednesday, our next session. Santi, Still working on Gazgol. Looks like you've tidied up these check marks a little since last time. I see there's a little bit of work on the top part of this. The bottom one still got a little bit of that little blue square at the top next to that big chunky yellow square. I think we talked about that last time. Loving these highlights though, man. Oh, look at this boy. Nice. I love how you've gone for the reverse colour on those horns as well. Danny, peace out, man. It gets covered. Fair. Draco, how you doing? Nice, mate. Very, very nice. Love this blue. Yeah, super, super good, dude. Right, Slayer. Got some lights around the display cabinet painting the remaining play rooms while waiting for a file light spawn to be delivered. Also, any tips on cool weathering on a PVC? Well, you've got 2 Mortarians, which I think is super, super impressive because having painted one, fuck painting another one. Daddy Tubbs, not at all, man. Not at all. Couple of giveaways, but yeah, the big one's still to be drawn. You can get in on it. Weathering for PVC, I like to use weathering powders. Yeah, so pigments. That's dry pigments. Unmixed paint. Rust colours work really, really well, even with this colour scheme you've got here, because the orange really pops off against that green. You can get some browns and some blacks in there as well, because it gives you a nice dark colour. And then for all of that sort of copper that you've got going on, get some verdigris down. Done a few tutorials on verdigris. I prefer to mix my own rather than use nylon oxide, which I feel is absolute shit from GW. So mix up like a light turquoise that's mostly blue with something like sickly skin or another off-white blue, champagne white, that style. I just let it down. It looks much better than using that nylon oxide shit, honestly. Right, Lee, before we get to your epic work, which is pretty fucking epic, let's have a quick roll call. So these are the people that are in for winning a mini painted by me in a colour scheme of their choice. This is the September 20 mini, exclamation point, Sept20 mini. If you would like to win either the Loom Boss, the Sergeant Joven, or the contents of the mystery box. We've got Des, Oakin, George, December, Tiz, Scribbler, Jager, Danny, Tootie Spruce, Chimo, Last of Us Games, Dirty Habit, Sons of Rolo, Zen41, Fish, Janelle, Basil Starms, Ichu, Lulu, Ketz, Lee, Jamartin, Basie, Calden Raven, Silver, Jake, Macy, Hicko, Crazy Anked, The Crooked Grin, Fletcherton, Diabolus, Polly, AJC, Malsuir, and Target number 4. If I didn't call your name out and you are a subscriber, exclamation point, SEPT20MINI, Sept20 Mini. There you go. Well done, Lee. These, as always, are looking pretty fucking spectacular though, dude. Great, great work. Also, I need to hit you up for a set of your bases because I want to do a giveaway with them, help promote you a little bit. Lee's got some fucking cracking bases that he's got. Very, very nice. Look at this guy. He does not look like a rational man. Not in the slightest bit. Really, that sort of gladiator arm you've got on there. No swords are awesome. Fucking awesome. Nice work on the face as well. Got some great tones in, especially up around the butcher's nails. Love it, dude. This guy, somewhat deranged. I like it. I feel that from some angles the pupils look a little too small, like a little bit too too narrow. But the top left one, where it's just slightly down like this, I think it looked perfect. It's difficult. It depends on how it's positioned on the model, but really, really nice work, dude. Ogrekin getting some converted chimeras going on. Talk to me. What have we got here? Wait, no, it's not a chimera. This is that weird open-topped little transport they do. Shit. Salamander. Thank you. Yeah. Nice, dude. Yeah, I had a friend of mine that had one of these. Very cool. Very cool. Small pupils do look mental. Yeah. Loving these, mate. Keep it up. Let's see them when they got some paint. Toonie Sprues, building more knights. Got the Helverin next. Yes, boy. Yes. Also, I see a Riptide that's still kind of fucked in the background. Nice, dude. Very nice. Gotta love Helverins. Helverins are absolutely amazing. I tell everyone, Crusader's the best unit in the Codex. It's a necessary unit to your army, but Helverins do the legwork, man. Vex. Getting his Blade Guard Ancient on the go. Question for you. Blade Guard Ancient has no weapons on his data sheet, right? Why is he carrying a pistol behind his back? Liking it, man. Got some primer, got paint again, plus to go fluoro paint, so might make some glowing eyes. Also, white is a bitch. White is tricky to paint until you've kind of learnt some of the tricks for it. So, yeah. Will you get /paint a Mega Gargant? Is that the Sigmar Giants? Because if so, nah, probably not. I'm just not. Some of the minis look great. Some of them I'm less fussed over. But also it's Sigmar, and so I'm probably not gonna bother. Do you actually have a bolt pistol? Somebody told me he has no ranged weapons. Maybe they're lying. Like these though, mate. Very nice. Purple, red, kind of classic combo. Real at the black shield that stands out a mile from these guys. Airbrush packed up on you. Fuck, dude. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. But nice work there, man. Really, really nice work. Digging it. So who else have we had join in? We've had Crownblade join, Daddy Tubbs join, and Campaconda also in. I will give you guys another 10 seconds to get in. Don't play goats, but I might get one just to paint. I understand that, dude. Like, they're cool minis. I like the one that's kind of the executioner style guy. He looks sweet. John is subscriber only, and the command is right up here at the screen, except 20 mini. It is subscriber only, so get your sub in if you don't have it already. And the options for this month's giveaway are the Loon Boss, Sergeant Joven, or the mystery box. Contents, not the box. Doom, doom, doom. In here is a mini. That's all you know. That's it. Could be limited edition stuff. Could be Warcry stuff. Shadespire stuff. Could be Art Reduction minis. Could be a single ripper. Could be a scenic base. Could be a mini boat. I haven't got any... What was it fucking called? Haven't got any Man O' War, so no. Loads and loads and loads of things out there it could be. I'm going to give it 10 seconds left. John has made it in, or eventually entered the contest. Got to be a subscriber. Exclamation point Sept20 Mini. 3, 2, 1. Maladeus, get in now if you're not already. Could be an epic scale space marine. Don't have any. But yes, that would be fun as fuck. Maladeus, are you in? Not yet. Come on, mate. If you're going to join, now is the time, mate. Three, 2, 1. That's it. You're done. Giveaway is closed. You have missed, potentially, the boat. And the winner of this month's mini, painted a colour scheme of your choice, is... Chimo! Ooh. Ooh. You're a mentalist, so this could be anything for a colour scheme. Okay, congratulations, Chimo. Long-time viewer, first-time winner. I'm liking this. What would you like? You can either have the Loon Boss, Joven, or the contents of the mystery box. Now, if you don't choose the box, whatever's in here stays till next time. We're not going to open it until it gets chosen. So you have mystery box, Loon Boss, or Joven. Your choice, brother. Your choice. What will it be? What will it be? The box has very pretty symbols. This is one of the best cigar boxes that I've ever had. You love goblins, but it's got to be the box. Are you sure? You sure? So we're saying it's probably not going to be Joven. Sergeant was limited. Yeah, it's the store anniversary miniature. Sure, it's the box. Feel that you've made your choice. He has made his choice. Yeah, it's the box. So up for grabs another time, the Loon Boss and Joven. Now there was a theme for this month's giveaway. What month is it, everybody? What month is it right now? Crownblade's got it. Drake's got it. October. It's October, bitches. So we started out the month with a Dead Orc. Then we've gone for a Sigmar Nerly Orc. Every month is Marine Month for me. It fucking feels like it. So in the box is not a Games Workshop miniature. So Chimo, I know you like your grots. Hence the Loom Boss. Nerdy being what won you out. It is a grot. It is a grot. So this is a really cool little Cromlech boy. It's a little grot holding a stick bomb, wearing a trench coat and a little whatchamacallit hat, one of those sort of Russian style hats. He's super cool. Leon Grotsky, brilliant, fucking brilliant. What we're gonna do with this guy, we're gonna take him off this tiny ass base that he's on. We'll give him a decent sized base. So I'll let you choose a base size up to, say, like 50 mil. We'll do a little diorama on that. All I need to know is how you would like this guy painted, and then he will be on the next stream, which will be Sunday night. So send me a message over on Discord, what you'd like done for your color scheme. He's just a fucking cool little mini. He's super awesome. So glad you're happy. I think he's epic. I've been wanting to give a grot away in here for ages, but I don't even really feel this is a booby prize because it's awesome. If it was just some like random Games Workshop grot with his little shitty 6-shooter, terrible. This guy, epic. So send me a message on Discord, tell me how you'd like this guy painted, and we'll get that sorted out for you, okay, man? And then Sunday stream, we'll do some work on this. For now, though, let's go see who's on Twitch. Hopefully, is Justin on today? No. Certainly not at the moment, anyway. Let's go check out. Let's just go check out Warhammer in general. Slow Fuse is on, Malev is on. This is both awesome and unsurprising. Some AOS stuff, not so fast. Rogue Trader Orcs, maybe. We could go and watch Spiky Bits Hobby rerun, or I could just, chuck my dick into a belt sander instead and it'd be less painful. Belly Tubs, peace out, man. Tell you what, let's go here, because it's October. Let's take October, turn it into Dorktober, and go and raid 2 Dorks, 1 brush. This guy's really cool, great artist, great painter. So when we get in there, give this man some love. Thank you to everyone that has joined in the stream tonight. Sorry for being away. Had to go and win 2nd place and the retreat. Way! See you guys on Sunday. Peace out, everyone. Have a good one.